Good evening, folks.
Good evening.
Welcome back to Mik'd. It is August 2nd.
Third.
August 3rd. Almost made it through. It only took me all of 4 seconds to mess it up, but your eyes are not mistaking you. Mikey will be in, but it is your boy that is introducing you to the show today. We got a great show coming for you today. LSU football is kicking up. The stove got as hot could get at the MLB trade deadline. We got a lot of things cooking for you today. The Saints, Tyron's back in practice. The Saints are looking good. Jameis is throwing it well. Michael Thomas is in two shoes.
Our rookie
things
offensive
are going
lineman's
well.
Throwing hands every day.
There you go. Hey,
every day.
It's going right now. So here we are. We get into everything, but
he's batting 1,000 on fights.
Which was
Trevor Penning, the first round pick, batting 1,000 on fights every day.
It's a good start.
Which I think was to be expected, right?
He got kicked out today.
Yeah, you knew who he was whenever you drafted him.
It only took me all of 4 seconds to mess it up. It only took him all of like 4 days to get kicked out of practice.
Perfect.
I like it. That's what I need on my front.
I think today they were like, all right, dude, we love the attitude, but come on, like every day.
Okay, listen. You've established yourself. Okay, take me.
Yeah, we get it. We know who you are.
You're not to be messed with. We get it. Okay, let's go now. Let's play real football. But it is what it is.
You gotta earn a starting job. Stop getting kicked out of practice.
Well, and you have to realize like who he's going against. It's like Cam Jordan ain't playing that bullshit. Like, I'm a vet. Like, I ain't doing any of that. Yeah.
So I would imagine today, all the boys are probably on campus, ready to go. Camp and practice will start tomorrow. Big announcements is we got a Shelton Sampson announcement
on Saturday.
Commit is coming up on Saturday, 3 o'clock.
306.
306.
Big number 6
Not
guy.
5, 306, live on the Colada Show. We also have Ricky Collins, who decommitted to Purdue. LSU now the favorites on this thing, we would imagine.
97% according to On3.
Do we know when this announcement's coming from?
He hasn't announced like a new announcement.
Well, that's coming soon.
But what's interesting to me, though, I don't know if y'all saw like the statement he put out. He said something about a lapse of communication from Purdue. That was shocking to me.
Sounds like it would have been more the other way around. Like, it's surprising to me that he gets out of state and the first choice is Purdue.
Well, he committed really early.
That's what I mean.
Like before he really became a big time commit. But my thing is, if you're Purdue and you got to know like LSU's going to go after this guy in their backyard, and he's like, he's Elite 11 guy. Like, this is your if you're
they knew that's why they offered to her.
Well, yeah, like if you're even now, like if you're ever going to be relevant, like it's going to be this cat that's going to get you, and then to have a lapse of communication with your blue chip quarterback recruit is questionable to me.
Well.
I'll take it.
I think the reason that happened is because LSU was trying to be in the Arch Manning sweepstakes. They didn't feel like they were going to get him. Then they got in the Eli Holstein sweepstakes. Didn't hit there either.
And
then so Ricky feels like, I've been in the backyard the whole time, but I feel like I'm the third choice.
Right,
Purdue, first to the altar. I'm gonna
the 5-star that went to Oregon was a big one. LSU.
Oh yeah, Moore.
DJ Moore.
Yeah.
But so I feel like Ricky was playing the game of like, oh, you didn't want me, I don't want you. But then when an LSU turns up the heat, we talked a little bit about this. When LSU puts the press on,
it's hard.
It's gonna be hard to say no.
Which
you can feel the flip.
It should be.
And I will say, as someone that's watched Ricky play because he's in my old high school's district, I would take him over Holstein or Arch, just because of the athletic ability and like I think his ceiling is real high because of his skill set. I think he's really started to turn it on too. Like when he went to the Elite 11, I think he opened a lot of eyes nationally, and now he's getting in the top 15, top 10 quarterback recruit list.
Yeah.
But like a year ago, not many people knew who Ricky was.
That's interesting. It's interesting. Lloyd, talk to me. Tell me what do you think? Like we said, camp starting tomorrow. What do you think camp life? What do you think these days are like right now? What do you think they're about to get themselves into right now?
See, that's what I was wondering, because I feel like as somebody growing up, certainly an LSU fan, like we get excited about tomorrow because it's time. It feels like football is here. But for you who played, I feel like it's a totally different perspective. Like, what are people actually going through? Like players, like, are you excited, or is it harken back to first day of football practice? You're like, ugh.
Nah, it's twofold.
It's because you're ramping up.
In the sense of you're done knowing that you're done. You're showing up knowing that you're done with the summer workouts and the grueling part of summer and all that kind of conditioning. Now you're showing up to play football because the football season's here, right? What's going to kick in, especially once the pad starts, however much of, can they even do 2-a-days still?
I don't know.
No.
Put it like this: you're basically living.
Practicing.
You're basically living a life at the practice facility, right? And you're trying to mix in a nap, sleep, and food somewhere in there. So it's going to get long. It's going to get grueling. It's going to get testy, and you're going to be tired because that's just part of the life. And the way things are done usually down here, which I would imagine Brian has probably adopted that sense of it, is you're going to do all of this outside as much as you can because being able to do this in this environment is what usually outsiders are not able to do. So you got to come here and get yourself acclimated here to be able to do this, to be able to give you that one up already once you step on the field on Saturdays.
Is camp harder under a first year coach because of everything new that's got to be
depends.
put in?
I mean, I would imagine, things are different now. Like it feels like a lifetime ago when I played, but I would imagine to whatever you can do with the parameters or how things are now. You got to kind of come in and set the tone, and kind of change the trend and kind of let guys know, like, hey, the things that went on here in the past, that's no more. Mm-hmm. And so I would imagine that it's probably a little stricter. It's probably a little harder because he's trying to set his culture and how things are going to be done under his reign. So I would imagine so. I don't know, but yeah.
It's also probably a little more organized.
Yeah.
They probably know. I mean,
but the organization, and that's my point. Like organization goes in different levels, and not just the scheduling or the timing, but it's also, hey, when you're going from drill to drill, you need to jog. Hey, I don't mean jog until you're 5 yards away from the drill. I need you jogging all the way there. Like if you're on the field, we mean business. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like things like that. That's all part of organization and how you run the program, how you write the ship.
Yeah, and I think, just from different interviews that that Jordy's done, and we've heard, especially in like the weight training program, is a lot of players are complimenting the staff on like they know why they're doing certain things. They don't just they know like the purpose behind them, this, that, like why they do these certain workouts, why they run a certain system, why they are the way they are. And I think that might make it a little more easier transition into camp.
I think it makes it not only easier transition, but I think it makes it easier for people to be able to buy in when you do it that way.
Well, that was more of kind of what I was talking about, is whenever we talked about going to camp whenever it was Les Miles, and you're like, I don't know what the fuck we're going to do today. Like that y'all were doing the Jalen Mills drill, Big Cat, when they had the quarterback playing, like doing tackling drills. It's like, I don't know if we really have a plan. Like, I was wondering if there's that feeling of, like, you kind of look around and be like, I don't know, coach knows what's going on right now. Like you know that y'all are going to be competitive and going to be good, and there's things that are right, but it's like,
I think I would imagine, I've been to one Coach O practice. I would imagine pretty much at this level of football, pretty much everywhere, the practice is pretty much ran very, very cleanly from the outside looking in, right? Now from the inside looking out, I guess I can give you a comparison. So from what I've heard from a lot of people, that I had a guy I played with here who interned under Nick Saban and also came back here.
So he saw the whole game.
So he's seen Les Miles. He's going from Les Miles to Nick Saban to back here under O. And he, me and him and I got to talking one time, and he told me that it was crazy to see that how punctual everything was with Alabama's practices. If this was a 6-minute period, for whatever reason, play not being run right, whatever thing that could go wrong, it wouldn't go to 6:05 to try to get something right. If it wasn't done correctly, what was on the script in that 6-minute period, not only did they move on, but the coach who had the player or whoever messed up, that's who was getting aired out.
Right.
It wasn't the player. It wasn't, let's make sure we have this teaching point. It was imagine if you run a practice and there's 25 periods, and for 10 periods you have to go overtime. Well, that's 20 minutes longer of practice. That wasn't a thing there. He goes, the other coaches were the ones that were getting aired out and to make sure. So it was almost a thing, like, know that
accountability.
Yeah, when these guys get when you have your individual meetings and film and all this, they get on the field, it's got to be done this way, or if not, I'm coming for you. And that's kind of how they ran it. So I guess my point to it is there, from the outside looking in, if you just go to a practice, like periods are run, the whistles are blown, the clock's ticking, all of it's scripted and goes well. But I guess the punctuality and
how it's run
is different with,
whoever the leader is.
Yeah,
because that's what I feel like is different this year. It feels like we've talked about Les Miles, every coach that's been here since Nick Saban has won a championship in their first 3 years.
Yeah.
and then you look down the line, you're like, wow, Les Miles was able to pull it off. Edo pulled it off, and you see kind of they obviously had some faults. And then you get a guy like Brian Kelly, and it feels like he's very much of the Nick Saban camp of we're doing it this way, and if we don't get out the period, we're going to the next one. Like, it doesn't matter. We're sticking to the script as opposed to we might be doing tackling.
Let's be honest. If we're being honest and we're being fair and we're being open, I think we can all agree on the one thing that we've heard about Brian Kelly is how professional he is about running the job. Mm-hmm. So you got to give him that, I guess, attribute at the top, and I think if you can apply stuff like that here, it bodes well for what you can possibly do on Saturdays here.
Yeah, he may not be the biggest character compared to the last two, but I think the way he runs things is going to bring consistency. I think the program lacked obviously we won national championships, but the consistency just wasn't there after we won them. So I think BK is going to bring a lot of consistency with this business-like, steady approach.
It just has to feel comfortable, for not only the coaches and we've had coaches on Collada's show, and you can see that they're all kind of like-minded and run the same, they're all in alignment, as we say. Yeah. But I would imagine as a player, we know what we're doing every day. There has to be some comfort in the stability is what I would imagine, especially going into camp where.
I think it does help being able to, as a player, know that, okay, this is the practice schedule. This is going to be tough, but this is only what it is. There isn't going to be extra. There isn't going to be more nonsense. We ain't going to be here any later. So, fix your mind on this and know that this is the job that you need to get done.
I got you for 2 hours. We're going to knock it out.
Let's get this done. So that 2 hours doesn't bleed over into 2 hours and 25. It doesn't bleed over into extra this, extra that, and you're out here why are we still doing this? That stuff right there eases the mind.
Standing around a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Stuff like that eases the mind a lot. So I think, here it is. Those guys are here. Day one's tomorrow. Kick it off. Hopefully those guys can stay healthy.
We'll be there getting some content.
We'll be there getting some content. Yeah, there you go.
A little mic'd up content.
We're in there.
As we said, good evening. We are brought to you by
Sterling Automotive.
And
Dos Equis.
And
Heineken.
And
Law Office of Lancebeal.
And
Assured Partner.
Dos Eat Place.
And there you go.
Assured Eat Place. But Mikey will be in the building in, I assume, a cool 4 minutes, I think.
If he's prompt and on time.
Yes.
If he's crispy on time.
This man was early.
I expected.
When he pulled up 30 minutes early.
I know, it made me look bad.
You did tell me what time you were coming here today. What time did you tell me you would be here today?
What did I say?
Not the time you showed up. Let's just go that. Not the time you showed up. Yeah, but we brought you the show on time.
Exactly.
And that's really all that matters.
He got out of his car and was like, well, I was supposed to be here an hour ago.
Yeah, well, long drive from Florida back to Baton Rouge. Had to make it back for the boys.
I'm not mad at you.
No, it can't be.
I was waiting on you to pull up, and then Jared got here. I was like,
teacher,
what?
you can't get in trouble in the subs here. He's rolling in the Zenith TV, and we're about to watch some documentary for an hour.
Yeah, put it on. I'm over here grading papers and stuff.
It's like, what y'all doing? Y'all all right. Recess?
I'm just checking.
All right. We cool.
All right. Speaking of recess, it's not really a recess though, but we'll just talk about this before Mikey gets here. We do have some bad news to bring today, right? We are gonna miss out on Carter Young. He did take the money and run. And I'm not mad at him. It is what it is. He took 1.3 in the 17th round to take the MLB contract and go. So he will
first
not
round
be
money,
here.
Coach.
It is. It definitely is first round money. Got that, and there it is. So I do think that opens the door now for. I say opens the door. It shortens the competition on the infield a little bit, and it's going to give some young guys more of a chance to show themselves and more opportunities to make themselves a fixture in the lineup when it comes time for baseball season this year.
Mm-hmm. But a lot of people were confused on how he was able to get 1.3.
Yeah, can you explain the way that the money works and a 17th rounder being slotted as a third rounder, but then he gets
Things have changed. Things have changed a little bit. They kind of went away with the hard slot like it used to be.
Right.
So now there's a draft pool, basically where teams have a X amount of dollars that they can use through the draft. So say you're able to, I guess, negotiate under quote unquote slot for certain top round picks and stuff like that. You can now allocate that money differently to lower picks now. So I think you were saying they had, however much it was, he'll probably say after, they had so much money still left over. And I guess knowing that they had already drafted him, instead of losing the pick, hey, how about we just throw it to him anyway? And that's kind of how it went, which is not really a thing.
Well, you saw,
never used to be a
right.
thing.
Well, you saw what happened with Paulie G. Like Paul Gervais, LSU guy, thought he was going to come back, gets drafted later, and he was like,
"Oh, I can get overslotted."
I didn't really understand how it worked either. Like, 'cause
Yeah.
you could see the game, the way that baseball is trying to manipulate the money. It's ever evolving, and you can see the players that obviously we're paying a bunch of attention to it now because the guys that Jay Johnsons are going after, like Paul Skenes, will be on the show. Like whenever you're going after like top end talent, like this is the game, the mental gymnastics you have to be able to do with yourself. And I feel like LSU fans are like, I don't understand this. We don't understand this. We're just going to yell about it on the internet.
It's essentially gotten away from
perfect Twitter.
Yeah, no, literally, it's essentially gotten away from the higher you are, the more money you get.
Right.
It's kind of really gotten away from that. And I don't even know, I'm not sure about this, so don't quote me on this. But like the way they used to do things is if you went over, quote unquote, what slot was, however many X amount of dollars, you were taxed on it.
Yeah, there's still like a tax. There's still a number that they hit that's taxed.
Well,
something.
it's obviously not that high if you can still get 1-3 in the 17th round.
Well, they didn't. So they must have signed a lot of people under thing because they had about 1.5 to 2 of pool left on like the deadline day, and they lost 700,000 of that because they didn't sign their third round pick. So take out whatever that is, but that's still. I mean, they must have signed almost everybody under slot to still have that much money on the deadline day.
Where did he go?
Orioles.
The
Orioles did actually, because I looked it up. The Orioles actually had one of the biggest pools in the league.
Yeah, they stink.
They like. They allocate it based on like where their picks are and like that slot value is how they allocate it.
That's interesting. But so yeah,
so
Carter Young is
like, so you're in the same pool as like kind of where a player would be. Like I don't really know. Like I'm wondering what the contract feeling is like when you start negotiating like this. Like I don't know, dude.
Well, I can tell you right now, it's weird. I mean, think about it. Think about a guy like Carter who is at Vanderbilt, right?
Struggled.
Doesn't have his best year. This year.
Gets benched.
Right? Doesn't have his best year. Now, we know what the potential is, and that's different, right? Doesn't have his best year, gets drafted, and realistically, like he was going to transfer to come here to play, right? But realistically, I would imagine in his mind, he knew that, hey, if I get maybe X amount of dollars, hey, if the opportunity's right, I'll leave and go. Well, you get drafted it's almost in a situation like that.
We stopped picking up the phone almost.
Hey, you're almost like.
No,
hey, look,
I'm pretty sure like their initial negotiations, he was like, I'm going to school. That's why he was like signed and announced to LSU like officially.
Yeah, the graphics out.
And then the Orioles obviously couldn't sign the third round guy, so they called him on deadline day, and they were like 1.3, and he was like 1.3.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and that's my point. Like it used to be literally like you're gonna come here, like knowing like I didn't have a great year. I'm probably gonna get drafted anyway, but I'm going to school because I need to go prove myself and get back into the
top
area
where I should be.
Back in the conversation where I should be. Oh my God, you gave me what? I'm out. Let's go. That used to never not
right.
like that.
You gave me the money of where I wanted
like
to go.
that.
Thank you.
And not only that, then you had everything from Major League Baseball trade deadline day. There was a lot of. I mean, so much action. I don't even know if the Padres are good or not.
They're
making so many moves.
Oh, they're gonna be good.
Unbelievable.
Oh, they're gonna be good.
Yeah, they're gonna be good. They said.
But
we're tired of losing to the Dodgers.
No, yeah, and look, listen. Let's be honest. Before we even get to the hot stove over there, because there's a lot to talk about there. Can we just give a little bit of, I guess, notice to, and kind of, I guess, maybe a little sympathy, because that's a very, very tough, long. Different, like it throws your mind all over the place. Kramer has been through it this year. Kramer,
this is
Robinson,
professional baseball.
Yes, has been through it this year. He starts the year out, goes to camp with the Cardinals. From the Cardinals, gets called up, plays 2 days, gets designated for assignment, which if you don't know is basically sending you back down to the minors, but you have to clear waivers. He doesn't clear waivers. The Braves take him. He's with the Braves for maybe 2 weeks. He gets designated for assignment again. He doesn't clear waivers. Who just had him?
The Mets.
The Mets take him. They send him to AAA. By the way, he was with AAA with the Braves as well. Mm-hmm. He was in AAA with the Mets. He's there for a little bit. They call him up for a day. The next day, they designate him for assignment again. And what looks to be, because this is the time where obviously a lot of people made room to make deals at the trade deadline, there is some open spots and people are going to have open 40-man spots. So I would imagine pretty soon here again, he's going to get claimed again. So that guy's had to pack bags and move cities and put different uniforms on and all, way more than what you are normally used to doing and he's had to do it for four different organizations already. Three different.
Well, it's about to be the fourth.
It's about to be the fourth. So if you want a little bit of a look inside of what professional baseball is like,
ham sandwich.
There you go. And imagine this, just to kind of give you this thought of it. This is how crazy baseball is. Kramer Robertson and Robinson Cano pretty much had the same year so far as far as for changing teams, designated for assignment to another team, designated for assignment to another team. That's how it goes.
How old is Robinson Cano?
39?
30s? Yeah, late 30s. Late 30s.
The Braves just designated him for assignment right before the deadline.
I mean, he's probably still worth a shout. He can still give you a couple pumps.
Somebody's gonna take a chance.
Yeah, just because the name. But like, if he doesn't get caught with like the steroids, whatever. Yeah. Borderline.
Oh, if he doesn't get caught, no, he's a Hall of Famer.
A Hall of Famer. Okay,
yeah, he's a Hall of Famer.
I thought so.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Oh, the man!
There he is.
Brought to you by Sterling Automotive.
I'm gonna go use the bathroom.
All right, when we go to break, we'll be back. Jay Mitch.
We'll be right back. You're watching.
Held it down, and then we'll be back with Mikey. I got to figure out something on this board. I don't know, one of these TVs is fucking me up, so that's why I've been distracted over here because we're catching audio from something we're not supposed to be. But we'll be back. Thank you, Sterling. Everyone, Mikey, stay tuned.
Somebody said I like Jay.
Mik'd Up is brought to you by Law Offices of Lance Beal. Call them today, 337-991-6263. They know what it takes to win. Their practice areas include personal injury, small business, family law, estate planning, with an emphasis in construction law. Your choice for reliable representation. 337-991-6263. Hey y'all, it's Mikey from Mik'd Up. I want to talk a little bit about my friends down at Sterling Automotive in Lafayette. They're locally owned and operated for over 25 years. They have 13 locations, 4 in Opelousas, 5 in Lafayette, 1 in Broussard, 2 in Jennings, 1 in Crowley. They sell any type of car you could possibly find: Buicks, GMC, Ford, Lincoln, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Hyundai, Genesis, and Kia, along with 5 pre-owned locations. They have over 1,500 cars in inventory on site. Unbelievable service, unbelievable people. If you're like me and you're on the go, they can sell and they can ship you cars up to 200 miles away. If you're like me and you're always on the go, they offer complimentary delivery up to 250 miles, which is unbelievably convenient. Again, my friends down at Sterling Automotive in Lafayette, awesome people. Go check them out. If you want to check them out, go to their website at saveatsterling.com. Mik'd Up is brought to you by Law Offices of Lance Beal. Call them today, 337-991-6263. They know what it takes to win. Their practice areas include personal injury, small business, family law, estate planning, with an emphasis in construction law. Your choice for reliable representation. 337-991-6263.
Like, it was an
Mik'd Up is brought to you by Law Offices of Lance Beal. Call them today, 337-991-6263. Welcome back to Mik'd Up. We are brought to you by Sterling Automotive. I know I missed the intro.
Good evening.
I'm 30 minutes late. Good evening.
Again.
It is Wednesday, August 3rd. And boys and girls, whoever's listening, I'm just giving you a heads up. I am running on fumes. So
Me too.
I had a long 2 days. Learned a lot. Did some good things. I was in Denver. A lot of just moving around. I'm exhausted. I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad I came straight here. I'm glad I have a good team. I'm glad we had 30 minutes, and I'm back. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in, and we're gonna jump into this thing. I know we talked a little about baseball. We talked a little bit about
LSU football.
The Saints have been doing a lot of good things. I think they're still kind of underrated. I don't know why people don't.
Severely under the radar.
I don't understand why people
I don't get it either.
don't like them for some reason. Like, I don't know why.
There's a stigma around. Let's be honest. We know what it is. There's a stigma around Jameis until there's actually a full body of work on it that says different.
That and Sean Payton leaving.
Yeah.
And then
Speaking of Sean Payton,
I know that's what I'm getting to, boys. So Miami.
Got a lot to say about Miami.
Yeah, listen to me.
My
Miami
goodness.
goes in there and they start dabbling and they start doing some things and they start, doing stuff behind the scenes, and they start saying, we're going to go get Sean Payton and we're going to go get Tom Brady to come out and play for Miami.
With minority ownership stakes.
Yes. And so then they say, we're going to do this, be secret, we're going to make this work. Well, it doesn't work out, right? Sean Payton stays retired, Tom Brady's in Tampa, and now all of a sudden they get caught. And they say, this can't happen. Let's calm down. You're gonna lose a first rounder and a third rounder, and you know what? We're gonna fine the owner $1.5 million
and suspend him
because he's trying to tamper with guys and do illegal stuff and ask for permission. Like, hey, bro, let me tell you a secret. Sean Payton's still under contract with the Saints.
You gotta trade for him.
So you're gonna have to go and trade for him. So going to tamper with him, you can't get him. It's impossible to get him. So then Miami goes and says, we're gonna spend all this money and we're gonna draft Tua, but I want to go get Tom. And now Tua has to figure it out, and they've been mismanaging the whole situation with Tua for 2 years now. And then you have to hear this. So I feel bad for Tua. I think Tua is gonna be in a good spot this year to have a lot of success. But I mean, come on, guys.
So,
let's
also,
figure
this was
out.
before he retired, because they said this is 2019.
Oh, this went back to. They said this went back to when he was still in New England.
To when Tom was still in New England.
Oh, getting Tom, but then Sean. So Sean was the same time.
I don't know if Sean was
I
the
don't
exact
know.
same time.
It might have been
a little bit later,
after,
but they were
I
trying to
don't
have
think-
them both there.
Yeah,
at the
of
same
course.
Yeah,
time.
but I don't think it was I think it was a little bit before he retired. Which somebody brought up a good point was, do y'all think that affected his decision to retire after the bounty game stuff? Do you think he wanted to avoid any trouble on his part if he knew this was going to come out right before the season? You think that's why he took the year off?
It could be
To avoid the Saints getting any
Maybe.
or him getting suspended, and why he's him just being okay, I'll just retire, let Allen take it over to avoid any chaos for
Saints
the Saints.
penalties.
Yeah, but
penalties towards himself.
But do the Saints get penalties if?
But I'm saying if Sean would have gotten, I don't know how if
You see what I'm
Peyton,
saying?
if it would have gone through, maybe.
Right, but Miami, but he's not going to be able to accept that because he was under contract. But
I know,
Miami,
but I'm talking about if Peyton got in trouble for talking with Miami and he got suspended. Say Peyton got suspended yesterday when the news came out. That would have been a big wrench in Saints camp. I'm talking about to avoid stuff like that.
You don't want drama. You don't want to be able to. You don't have to deal with that. No doubt. But
he's definitely coaching next year though. He's going
He's
coach
going to
somewhere.
Dallas.
And we'll get 2 or 3 first round picks for it.
Here's my thing. Here's my take on this whole thing. The first round pick, and then the following year, the third round pick, and if we're being honest, $1.5 million to a billionaire owner is literally pennies, right? To me, when we're talking about tanking, and the head coach that you just fired,
who was great,
basically, who was doing a good job, who basically called you and called your bluff and called you out on not only were you tanking, but you were also trying to pay him off for it. I'm really missing, I get it, there's probably no real smoking gun when it comes to if you found like hard proof, like evidence
Right,
that you try to
right,
give him
right,
money.
right.
But it really makes me think like, so we're really just gonna leave that alone just because you couldn't I guess in this initial thing be able to find anything. But there has to be some truth to that, right? Like there's just no way you tank and you don't try to pay him and you're not trying to incentivize people to tank because you were obviously hard tanking.
Yeah,
I saw a quote today. They said somebody in the higher up said that it was because, quote unquote, the decision to tank didn't make it to the locker room because the coach didn't want to do it.
And here's my thing too. Well, it doesn't have to make it to the locker room, but it obviously made it to the coach's office.
Staff.
It obviously made it to not the owner. It also made it to the front office. So like that sounds like you're actually incentivizing it to me.
Yeah. I think the Saints should get their first round pick too that they had to forfait.
they're going to lose the first round pick. I don't think anybody's getting that. Well, someone has to get that pick. Right?
I don't know.
Yeah, to keep
I was wondering that too. I was wondering if literally
you know what I mean? Like, they don't have it, but like who's going to get that?
I was
pick?
wondering if there's literally just one less pick in that part of the draft, in that round of the draft, or if somebody else gets the pick. I don't know how that goes.
Yeah, but if it's a first rounder, like you would assume that there's only going to be 32 picks in the first round. Like that's one of the 32 guys. So like,
but that's my point. Like I don't know if that pick's lost, so now there's 31 in this draft instead of 32. I don't know if that. I don't know if it goes that way. I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe I guess I don't know. What?
Yes, we'll see.
I feel like the Saints are going to get fucked no matter what, right? Like Roger Goodell has done them no favors ever.
Well, the Saints, it doesn't affect the Saints.
Yeah, it doesn't.
How so?
Because they're not taking anything away from the Saints.
I know, but what they could get in terms of trading your head coach, like this has only happened a couple of times.
But they're still going to trade him. Like they're just the only people getting penalized right now is going to be Miami.
Right.
So like it's not going to affect us by losing a pick. Like we can't get screwed over from that.
I'm going future in advance. I'm saying that if this, obviously they negotiated this deal prior, and it seems like something that Sean Payton wanted to do. If he's not able to go to Miami, he's obviously interested in coaching elsewhere. So
sure.
I'm thinking that what would be the payback for Sean Payton
Goodell
leaving?
I don't think Goodell has any. He can't do anything.
Six games.
It's like a trading. Well, he's not. Who's going to get? Nobody's going to suspend it.
Deshaun Watson, Jeff.
He's going to get suspended for 10 games. He'll get another 4 added to him. He's got appealed by.
He's got
Goodell.
the NFL appealed.
Goodell's appealing the thing, and Goodell makes the final decision. So they're probably going to add 4 games to it.
Here's a question I got.
Then he'll appeal it, and it'll just be.
No.
Alvin Kamara gets to play all year.
No, he cannot. He cannot appeal it.
Here's the question I got. Do you think that this Miami situation is getting a little less headline and a little less attention strictly because of it's on the heels of this Deshaun Watson situation?
I think so too. I think it's it's not going to affect, like, Sean Payton's not going there and Tom Brady's not going to go there. So like, yeah, you fucked up and now you're going to have to go and pay the price and lose, get paid, have a fine and lose a first rounder. It's like it stinks for them. Like it's not good, but it's also not as big as the Deshaun Watson stuff now that the coach retired and Tom Brady is in Tampa, and like there's no chance that either one of them. And I guess maybe.
And also, they're not it'd be different, I guess, if like the Chiefs did it and they had to lose a pick or something because they're like a contender every year.
Yeah.
Where the Dolphins are trying to get there.
I mean, it's gonna be like the Dolphins are talented this year. Like they have a chance.
They have a lot of offensive weapons.
They have a real chance. I think their defense is good too. Like I think they have a chance to be competitive and make a run. I think that.
And I'll say this. I'll make this point too. And this is the last thing I kind of want to say about this today. But I think what goes really under the radar with this whole thing is the opportunity that black head coaches have or have not gotten in the past.
Right.
And now we see a opportunity for a black head coach that was seemingly sabotaged from the beginning of it. And now that guy's not head coaching right now.
Right.
But that's still on his record. That still goes to what he's done in the past. And I think that's what a lot of that outcry has been about the opportunity for that kind of situation in the past.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting. So, obviously, you just don't know, but it's going to be interesting to see. We have there's a lot. Like there's a lot going on. There's a preseason game happening this week, this Sunday, right?
This week, yeah.
First preseason games.
Hall of Fame game this week.
Hall of Fame games this Sunday.
We're gambling.
Deshaun Watson, I mean, it's hard to gamble on him.
No. I got on a heater last year, Ricky.
Hey, the NFL's king. Isn't it crazy how they've been in camp for all of, 6 days. They haven't played a single game. And there is this much NFL news out already. Like, how's that possible?
It's unbelievable. They've been waiting for this. They've been waiting for this.
How is that possible?
Here's like outside of that, like it's exciting that the first game's there right now. LSU football starts tomorrow, right? That's when they start their their fall practice, August, 2 days, whatever. But you have all of these headlines. Let's not even go to college yet. We have all these headlines right now in the NFL, right? You have the new guys in New Orleans. You watch Jameis, you know, it can take him a little while, I think, to like get used to his trust his knee, but like he's been throwing the ball deep.
He had a good day
throws.
today.
The arm looks
yesterday
electric.
and today had much better days.
Arm looks good. You know, sometimes it looks like he favors it a little bit on the drop, but like I said, it's gonna get looser.
I'm gonna say, not to cut you off, but he is in fantastic shape.
No, he's in great shape.
He is
He's
in
just-
great
Like,
shape.
which is, you know, 'cause obviously everybody's seen the photos of
Flabby James.
Flabby Jameis.
pudgy
But,
James was in good shape last year before he got hurt too.
but I was gonna say, coming off the knee injury, like it could have been easy for him to maybe fall
Right.
into some old habits or whatever he wasn't doing to take care of himself. But now it looks like he is prime
Yeah.
James. Like I
he looks
expect
great.
the Saints will go as Jameis goes.
Yeah, no doubt. He looks
100%.
Which is, I mean,
And you watch him throw the deep ball to Olave. You watch the way it just seems like the receiving core has a lot of chemistry with him.
I will
right
say
now,
this.
which is awesome.
I will say this. You know what I do like watching a lot is you watch him run routes, and he's never really like impressed me with the speed and everything that comes out of it. But he's always open, right? You watch Michael Thomas run routes right now, and it doesn't look like he's short stepping anything.
Right,
It
he
looks
feels
like
good.
he's
Testing
making
that
very
ankle.
very good cuts. It looks good so
doubt.
far to start. It looks really good.
No doubt. Then you look at then you have you have 2 first rounders, right? You
I
have
may have been wrong
Olave.
about the Olave take. I'll have to wear that one. He does seem to be the deep threat.
Yeah, of course he is.
Shoot.
Oh, I almost
Stepped in
tagged
that
you on
one.
Twitter.
I know. I thought the
Almost-
first thing I was like, ooh.
He's the deep
I
threat.
almost tagged us, so
He's the
this is
deep
the
threat
deep
unless
threat you
somebody
wanted.
gets hurt.
But here's my next point, right? Like you had 2 first rounders, your second first rounders, Trevor Penning, right? And the issue with him, or the knock on him is this guy likes to play a little bit after the whistle. He plays maybe a little too far. He's got a little mean streak to
Get
him.
blow 2 whistles
is he
for us.
gonna like be
batting
able to
1,000
make that
miles.
adjustment? Listen, you want a guy who's tough. You want a guy who's gonna be right in your grill, and you want a guy who's going to play until the whistle. Now, if he continues to play after the whistle, which has been the issue and the concern, and starts getting in fights with everybody on the team, and then gets kicked out of practice by his own coaching staff, like, okay, we got to figure out a way
See, but here's the
to
thing. Here's the thing.
monitor that, which
But
I
here-
agree. It's
I
like
love
a Kyle
it.
Turley.
I love it
It's
because
like Kyle Turley.
here's what
Still
usually
the Jets
happens.
helmet.
You know what I mean? Yes, right.
Some people
You
put
take
videos
guys,
of him,
and you
they're
take
"This
guys
is
like
Trevor
that.
Penning."
It's always
Yeah.
that mindset. Like people know this in football. Like if I got that mindset, you can play defense. Say if you're a defensive player and you don't have that mindset, that's usually how you find yourself on the offensive line. But if I can get you with that mindset on the offensive line, ooh, now we really got some dogs. Now we really got
I
something
just have to
working.
dial it in.
That's
little
okay.
bit.
I would rather be able to dial you down
No
than
doubt.
have
It's a
to
lot
turn
better-
you up.
it's a lot better
I
to
don't
bring
want to
it
have to
back.
turn you up. Let me reel you in.
And here's the deal. Like, he's going to have to figure that out because he's a rookie. He's not going to get the benefit of the doubt a lot of times. He's going to
Oh,
get
no.
they are
Not a
going
lot at
to
all.
call the penalties on him, personal foul penalties, all of these different types of things. So I love the aggressiveness. I hope that he monitors that and hope that he keeps that in check because we're going to need him on the offensive line. I like that intensity. I just don't know what's going to happen in the season.
Kyle Turley
Yeah.
feels fair.
It's Kyle Turley.
It's like your first day in prison. You got to look around and see who could. I got to set the tone here a little bit so nobody comes.
So how many
calling.
prison tones have you set?
Yeah.
How many times have I been, or how many tones did I set? Two different questions. I said no tones. I slept with my hands underneath my ass cheeks, and I just sat there like this. And I said, I woke up and I said, "Fuck, still here," and it was time to go.
There you go.
There you
Go
go.
out.
I didn't set the tone.
You just hid.
Kicked me out to practice.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
Didn't get hit either though. Keep my head down, but do my work, and we're gonna be okay.
Eyes front, mister.
I think the Saints are going to be in a good spot. I really
Breakfast
do.
sucked.
Yeah, the food wasn't good.
No,
Tough.
That's
ramen.
tough. Yeah, that's
Tough.
rough.
Ramen's better than some stuff. I didn't have any. I didn't have
I had
hot
ramen at
breakfast.
home.
True.
Yeah, wasn't a restaurant, you know.
Yeah,
But
of
it's not what I signed up for.
Yeah, of course. It's okay. It's all part of it.
Yeah. You grow up, you learn from it.
I think the Saints are going to be in good shape. Tyron's back, which is nice. You got
Sure though.
past this, family.
Personal
for-
issue.
Yeah,
There's
personal
stuff going
issues,
on at
whatever
home.
it was. Listen, that happens.
Not a debacle.
Not an injury.
Did y'all think
Not
it
an
was gonna be a
injury. Not a
debacle?
debacle.
I still
I don't know why.
know.
I don't
He
know why
was-
people were panicking about that. Like he's a veteran.
Hey,
Like he
had
had
stuff
some,
to take care of at home. It just
Yeah,
it
right,
happens.
like-
Hey, these are normal people too. Like
Yeah,
they
right.
live a real life
no doubt.
too.
No doubt.
I think that was part of the concern for just not. I don't even think it was Saints wise. I think it was more Tyron wise. Like we care so much about him. They're like, oh, this is why he never came back to New Orleans. Like
Yeah,
we
but I
thought
think
it was a little dicey.
I think we over exaggerated
Yeah,
that.
Well,
Like,
but then you see something like this happen, and it's like, oh shit, that might have been real.
yeah, but right. That's to me, that's an issue. Like, you don't want to make assumptions on something that
Right.
you
We
have
don't know
no
anything
idea,
about.
right? So, like, for me, it's like he has a personal matter. He's got family. He's got something going on. We don't know what it is. That's his business. Like, I never thought at one point it was like, damn, we're gonna lose him for the year.
Yeah.
Like, this is something serious.
I never thought it was anything.
I thought it was gonna take care of his whatever he needs
Yeah.
to take care of. He's gonna come back. He's a veteran. He's that you don't you know that he's in shape. You know he's gonna be ready. Like it's just to me there was no worry in like.
Yeah, I wasn't worried. I was like, he could show up on game day and play.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
not. I don't think that's what anybody was concerned about. I think it was more of, oh shit, this is why he's never really entertained signing with the Saints, because he had so much, like, people tugging on his sleeve, like, hey, I need some help. He's Tyrann Mathieu. Like, he is as probably famous as anybody from New Orleans at this point. Like,
No doubt.
and so that's why I think a lot of the concern was like, oh, this is why he never really entertained coming back here. And then you see it kind of play out in front of you. Like I said, we don't know what happened, but the fact that he missed camp that's odd.
Missed a few days.
Yeah, but he should be out there. Like, when you see Jarvis and all of the excitement around it, like, Tyrann would have been a massive coup for fans to go see, like,
Yeah, but
the
like
whole
it's not,
unveiling.
he didn't miss all of practice. He missed like 3 or 4 days, 5 days maybe.
Right, I'm just saying
Right.
that he wasn't there for the opening was probably
Yeah,
why
but that doesn't,
he's fine.
That doesn't
Yeah,
matter
yeah.
to me. Like, it's not, to me, it's like, why stress over something that you don't know? Like, as far as fans, like, this guy is a veteran. He's going to be there, and the fans are going to be able to see him. They're going to be able to support him, and he's going to be able to lead and do all the stuff he wants to do. Like, I don't think he missed an opportunity. I think that he has earned the right to be able to say, hey, I have to go take care of this. This is important to me personally, and I will be ready to come back when I come back, right? And, like, it wasn't like he was going to miss the year and miss games.
No,
like,
no.
just,
I will say this, though. Speaking of famous and fanfare, the Saints do have one bit of bad injury so far. I have never seen the guy play yet, but the rookie, Smoke Monday, is hurt.
Smoke Monday.
The safety
From
Safety
Auburn.
From Auburn.
His name is Smoke?
Yeah.
Speaking of
Stud.
fanfare, I've never really, like, tuned into him playing, but that's one guy I'm like, hey, please get him on the field, and I hope he's every bit of as good as he is.
I don't know
'cause
anything about him. Tell me about Smoke.
I don't. That's my point.
Show
but
me
if,
the smoke.
But if I look at a roster and your name's Smoke Monday, I'm looking at what number. I need to see who this dude is. I need to watch him play.
He plays all the way downhill.
So I need to.
He's trying to catch a body.
I like to see him healthy and on the field because I want to see Smoke Monday play football. Like
Love
that
that.
just sounds.
I like it. I
it
love
sounds
that.
like a good
That's like
football
when you
player.
Good football name.
That sounds like a good
That
football
was like when
player.
Bakari Rambo got
Yes.
signed. I'm like, damn.
Need to
okay,
see
this
it.
guy.
Just need to see it. I got to
Bakari
see
Rambo is like, you can't have much of a better football name than
Oh,
that.
yeah, it's like when Jack Rabbit turned the name into Jack Rabbit. I forget his real name, but the guy with the dreads that got in a fight for
Janoris Jenkins?
Yeah,
Janoris Jenkins. He's like, I'm just Jack Rabbit now. It's like, help, put on the back of the jersey, coach. Let's go.
That is a badass name.
Yeah.
Last thing about the Saints, we're all worried about. Come on, Alvin Kamara. Nothing's gonna happen.
Nope.
He may get in trouble.
Did I not say this from the start?
Yeah, nothing's gonna happen. He may get in trouble. It's
3
gonna be
or
after the
less.
season.
I'm calling it right now. 3 or less.
It's gonna be after the season.
It's going to be, they're just
I
kicking,
agree
kicking
too.
the can down the
but that's what
road,
I'm just
dude.
saying. 3 or less. Because
He's not-
who says from 2 months from now they don't have it rescheduled and they all show up? I don't think so. I'm just telling you. 3 or
Listen,
less. It ain't
yeah,
happening.
no doubt.
Which is
And-
what I said from the start.
and if-
Yeah, he's good.
I just don't know what they're gonna do with Deshaun Watson because
There's just
Six
no
games
way
Don't
not
it's
don't
enough.
allude to anything. It's part of my curtain call. But 6
Okay.
games is not going to be.
not. It's not. I mean,
This is
listen.
not going to be.
Goodell has to file a decision. This was a recommendation from the judge, and
It was actually a ruling. I mean, like it was legit a ruling, but the NFL can basically police itself.
yeah. So hey, this
And
is a
then
So they
suggestion.
can overturn.
and
They
then,
can overrule it.
A second-year Saints receiver got suspended 6 games
Yeah, for
PEDs.
Yeah.
PEDs, 30 women.
Calvin Ridley out longer.
A year
whole
for,
year.
for gambling on
For
his
gambling
team while
on
he's
the team.
injured.
Bob Kraft, nothing.
Bob Kraft, nothing.
Tom Brady, nothing.
Yeah, Tom Brady.
Deflategate.
Enough of the deflate game.
But
No,
literally,
no,
though, Bob
no,
Kraft,
there
though. But
was-
literally, Bob
That's
Kraft.
such a
nothing.
soft.
They
That
didn't
was
do
such
that.
a
Wait,
soft.
no, I saw a stat. There's 3 times where a team's first round pick has been revoked, and Tom was involved in all 3 of them.
I know, but my point is like the Deflategate's stupid. Like they didn't win because of Deflategate.
Well, I know. I was just saying.
And like the other stuff, like
They were-
like to go out and video a team.
Colts
okay,
got bodied.
Whatever, huh?
The Colts were getting bodied in that game. Or is
Yeah.
it Ravens or Colts?
I think it was the
It
Ravens.
doesn't matter. They're winning it regardless.
Yeah,
It doesn't
they're
matter if
up
the
40.
ball was fully pumped up or not fully pumped up. They were gonna win. So like
could play with
whatever.
the volleyball.
Like, Goodell was like, "Well, I'm gonna do this because it's gonna look good, and like we can't have this. It's cheating, whatever. Like that Doesn't. But you have Robert Kraft going to Palm Beach and getting little at the massage parlor, and then gets busted, and somehow
Brought a beach towel.
Sometimes he's just gone. You don't know. You don't even remember that. I don't know what happened. He didn't get suspended.
He didn't get
Or
suspended.
I
I don't think he got suspended. I think he might have gotten fined. I don't think he got suspended.
But,
though.
we'll see. Listen.
You don't think Bob Kraft goes, what's the number? Like, I don't care.
I mean, Deshaun Watson's
I'm
gonna,
going
like,
back
6
on
games are gonna
Wednesday.
be good.
What do you think Miami's owner said when they said, "Hey, we're gonna fine you 1.5"? What? You want it in cash or you want me to check it right now?
Yeah,
I can give
you
you
got
right
Apple
now.
Pay?
I can give you right now. What do you want?
They say Deshaun. I mean, they
You want
say
it stocks?
they say Stingley's balling out.
Oh,
right now.
you see the one video? He ran the route.
I know. I mean, look, people.
Do yourself a favor and just go search
People
Derek
are
Stingley
very
online
upset
right now.
with us.
He ran the
We put
route.
out our list of top 5 cornerbacks, and they're very upset that Derek Stingley was not. in the
Please
list.
explain
And
why.
let me explain
Please explain why.
Listen,
Please
we
explain.
are
Please
not
excuse my
putting.
dear Aunt Sally.
We are not putting down this list based off of like pure talent, right? Like, of course, Stingley, out of pure talent, may be the number 1 guy ever to come out of LSU, talent-wise. He played for 1 year, basically, 1.5 max
1
on
year.
the field. And this half the year that he played injured, and it wasn't the same as year 1, right? So we did not put him in the top 5 list because he didn't have the track record that the other 5 guys that we put in had, which all other 5 guys were All-Americans, first-rounders, were gone. Like, it wasn't that we said he wasn't talented, because he was.
Now, had he played another year or two, then yeah.
He may be the most talented guy ever,
Yeah.
like defensive back ever to come out of LSU, but he just didn't play.
And
There's
I'll
no
and
knock on him
I'll
outside
say
of the fact that he just
I'll
put
say
up
this
the
too.
numbers.
Like in this, don't get me wrong. Like please don't mistake what I'm saying. Did he have a huge effect on what was done on the defensive side of the ball that year? But we play up what he did that year simply because of how magical the season was and what
Right.
the offense did on that
Right,
year too.
right.
Or what he did, because usually when cornerbacks are good, you go under the radar. Or what he did would have kind of went under the radar a little bit. So we play it up. Had he done that or been on the field for another year to two, that list is different.
No doubt, and that's nothing against him. It's just
And I said this to you. I said he may very well end up going on and having literally the best professional career that any corner out of LSU is, because that's how talented he is. But if we're talking about career here at LSU, those 5 guys we felt were better.
Yeah, I mean, look,
I think people forgot how good Corey was.
People really did forget how good he was.
Right, and there's nothing against him for not putting him on the list. He just didn't have enough. Like the track record, him at LSU
just wasn't healthy.
It wasn't about talent. It's about all of it combined.
Yeah.
The only thing I would say is that he has a very similar career arc at LSU as Jamar Chase. Yes or no?
No,
How?
because Jamar played.
Jamar played.
His sophomore year and didn't play his junior year.
He played his freshman
Yeah,
year.
he played his
Yeah, but he
freshman
didn't
year.
But he
do
played his
anything.
Yeah,
freshman
but he still played. Like this guy played 1 year and then he never progressed. I mean, Jamar Chase had numbers that.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's just
Well,
offense
Jamar
versus
also won the
defense.
Blitnikoff.
And I think if you probably stack up what Stingley did his freshman year, he could have been in the running for the Thorpe Award. Like I think
I
the
agree.
numbers
For
are
sure.
unbelievable.
For sure, but that's
and
not-
being that young at that position in that stage and never blinking and being able to be probably your best player in the secondary.
No, there's no
I'm
doubt
no,
about
we're
that.
not sliding at
No,
all
there's
what
no
he
doubt about his
did
talent.
It's
that
just
year.
it's body of work versus
The longevity
talent.
of what he's
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
Was about,
But like that's what Jamar did. He did the exact
Think
same
about-
thing.
think
Jamar's
about
numbers
what-
were the best that's ever happened at LSU.
Right, but I would say, but that's just because it's on the offensive end to where.
Well,
it's,
I mean,
it's
it is what
great.
it is. We're,
That's my
we're,
point, though,
we're,
like-
we're stacking them up with defensive numbers the same way. You feel what I'm saying? Like, so it's very comparative in that sense, is what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, like you said, like we're talking about body of work, right? And you're forgetting what these other guys did here, body of work wise.
Right.
You know?
Where would you rank Jamar on the LSU list if you only have 5 spots? Does he make it? Because if he
As of
makes it,
wide
then
receivers?
if he
So we're gonna
makes-
go Josh Reed. Is definitely on the list.
Yeah, I would say.
I mean,
honestly,
these
I
are
would
the first.
say,
He was the last
honestly,
Blitnikoff
I would
guy
say
here.
Michael Clayton
Michael Clayton's on the
was
list.
on that list. I mean,
I think
Eddie
you-
Kennison.
Eddie Kennison, Dwayne Bowe.
Wait, who did? Which one took which off the list? Which one said take me off?
JoJo
put me
took
on"?
himself off.
Well, said take off.
JoJo took
But like,
himself off the list.
I think Jamar Chase. Like, I know what you're saying, but Jamar Chase, based off of what he did, like I know that he didn't play his greatest freshman year, but the numbers that he put up,
Yeah.
like I think it's worth him being in the top 5. Now, Stingley had an unbelievable freshman year,
Yeah.
and that's all you got to see of him. His next year wasn't great because he was playing hurt and he got through it. But like he played for 1 year.
And Jamar didn't put up an unbelievable freshman year, but he still was there.
Yeah.
And played.
Right. And like
and
he didn't
contributed
play the next year because of COVID, but like COVID wasn't able to play. I know it's whatever, but
you also got to think Jamar was splitting catches with Justin both years he was here. Jefferson was here.
Right.
Yeah, you can go down the entire rabbit hole of.
Well, you can't
the
because
wide
if they
receivers
choose to
list.
throw at you, they choose to throw at you.
Yeah,
It
you
is what
open
it
it,
is.
you're not, and he's gonna find you, Joe. He knows he's open.
No doubt.
Joe did.
But I mean, I'd have to put probably. I mean, Jamar Chase would be in the top 5 for sure. And like I said, nothing.
Once again, if we speak about the list, it is
Yeah.
not talent-based list.
No doubt.
That's not what the conversation
No
is.
doubt. Now, we have an interview. Paul Skenes' interview is in 5 minutes. I don't know if he's in the chat yet or not, or in the room yet or not, or whatever. After him, we are talking about this MLB trade deadline because
Things got spicy.
I love it.
Things
God,
got,
I love it.
things
Baseball
got
trade
spicy.
deadline is by far the best of all sports. Like
Teams sell so
they
hard.
are the most action
It's
all
like-
in any sport.
It's like a bachelor party. They all just like, I guess I'll do cocaine this one time.
What I don't understand is
Every owner is like, let's do it. This
They-
is so much
they-
fun.
They sell so hard.
how does
I'm
Juan
buying. I'm
Soto
selling.
and Josh Bell both go to the Padres, and like it wasn't even like, I mean, they got a lot of good prospects. Trust me, they've got like the guys they got were really high end prospects, but didn't seem like you're getting like, I mean, you're getting a 23-year-old, one of the top 3 players in probably all of baseball.
Yeah.
He's 23.
Yeah.
And you're gonna get Josh Bell, who is an unbelievable first baseman,
Yeah.
and then you're gonna get rid of all these prospects, and then you say, okay, well, yeah, we'll give you.
Got rid of your other 2 first basemen.
Yeah, we'll give you Eric Hosmer. No, you're not.
Hosmer said, "Nah, I'm gonna blow this thing
let's
up."
Take a little break. I'm not doing that. That's not where I'm going. They're on my no trade list. So let's figure out where I can go to where it's going to benefit me.
How mad is Luke Voigt?
When they switched it and threw Void in there, I'm wondering if at that point they just basically severed their relationship with Hosmer and say, "Hey, look, he's going to play first base every day. I don't know what to tell you."
Who? Josh Bell?
San Diego.
So it's about Josh Bell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, hey, he's going to play. So either you can be here and not play, or we.
No,
can
they did
trade
it. They did it right by getting rid of him, and putting him in a position. Same with Luke Voigt, right? Luke Voigt's going to the Nationals. Mm-hmm. So like I think.
Well, they had to add another person in it.
Right.
So,
I think Luke Voigt is happy. He'd probably rather be with the Padres,
Yeah.
obviously win, but Luke Voigt is going to play every day.
yeah.
So like now Luke Voigt puts himself in
Well,
a
he was
position.
DHing I'm pretty sure every day.
Right,
there,
but like now he gets to go play first.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna play. He didn't have to split time. He didn't have to worry
Yeah.
about any of these other guys coming in. But I mean, Soto and Hosmer's on the Red Sox. They have a chance to win, right? You have Trey Mancini, which I am so happy for
Got him
Trey
out of-
Mancini because he's a really good player, an awesome dude, has been through a lot, and the Orioles treated him the right way. He's been the face of the Orioles, and the Orioles said, you know what? We are going to trade you to the Astros, who
But that's a weird one, though. People talk about that one, man. You do realize the Orioles were like as hot as can get. Now, look, if we're being
2.5
realistic,
back of the wild card.
if we're being
Orioles?
realistic, yeah, if we're being realistic, in that division where all those teams were very, very good, if you put up numbers of their chances to actually make the playoffs, they'd probably be at the bottom of that division.
right.
But with that being said, they were also literally like a couple games out of the wild card spot at the deadline.
Yeah.
So to basically trade away one of your top
Guy,
3
you're
best
facing your
players
guy, facing your team.
is like it probably looks bad for the organization and the fan base.
No doubt.
But that's the move they made.
No doubt. And look, they got rid of him because they probably aren't going to pay him. He's going to be I think he's a free agent.
I would imagine so. That's usually how it goes, right? Like
But-
you guys that are getting moved at the deadline are guys on expiring deals.
I am
Usually.
happy for him because now look, they're winning this year and they're on the upswing. They may not make the postseason, but he is in there. Going to make the postseason with the Astros.
I was about to
Right?
say,
Like,
time out. Wait, who may not make the post?
Yeah, no, Astros like
The Orioles.
the
But I
fact
said the
that
Astros are in
The
there.
Astros are
They're in.
and now he gets to play on a team. He has a chance to make a run in the postseason.
Yeah.
He's earned that. He deserves that. I'm very happy for him. Yankees put himself in a really good position.
Yeah.
Yankees got Harrison Bader, outfield depth, some defensive depth in the
So
outfield.
what's going to happen? Like, is Hicks hurt right now?
I don't know what the deal is in the outfield, right? Like, isn't Stanton hurt?
Stanton's on the deal right now.
So Stanton's hurt. So now you have defensive depth in the outfield. You have guys
do.
that you can put out there.
Yeah, you got a gold
they
glove guy.
They got some good arms. They got
did.
rid of Gallo.
They
Of
did.
course, Gallo ends up in doubt. Of course, LA is going to figure out how to utilize
that's what I was about
Gallo.
to say.
Somehow Gallo's
They're
gonna
gonna-
hit.
He's gonna
figure
figure out
it
how
He's
to-
going to hit 10 plus through the
No
rest of
doubt.
the year in the back half of the year.
That's what I told. Like as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, he's gonna figure out how to hit again, and he'll hit 10, 15.
I mean,
in the second half.
Dude.
Speaking of Gallo, man, that's one guy who's gonna finish his career with a lot of money, who is probably going to have no interest in ever stepping foot in the state of New York again.
Oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt about that. I mean, look,
They interviewed him. They said he didn't want to leave his apartment ever. They're like, "Where do you like get any smoke from fans in the streets?" He said, "I don't go in the streets."
of course not.
Of course he doesn't.
Skenes is here.
Skenes is here. Okay, we're gonna take a 30-second break. I'm gonna set up my headphones. Talk to Paul Skenes. I'm pumped to talk about him. Talk
I'm
about
a little
his decision.
concerned because the audio is where something's happening. So the new TV we got. I'm gonna have to figure it out in the break. We're gonna figure it out.
Okay, we're taking maybe a minute break. We'll take a little minute break. We'll be back. You're watching Mik'd, brought to you by Sterling Automotive. Welcome back to Mik'd Up. I promise you we are having an interview. Paul Skenes is waiting. We have a little bit of technical difficulties. This kind of happens whenever you grow and you have a lot of things going on and bringing in new computers and new TVs and new monitors. And
Making a lot of moves over here.
yeah, you know, and look, it happens. We're working on it. Lloyd is working behind the scenes, but we're going to go ahead and keep talking and so that we can entertain you until we have this interview ready, right?
Ready.
So let's get back to the trade deadline. We're talking about the trade deadline, talking about all the teams that are happening, right? Padres made the biggest moves, I feel like. Obviously, they got Soto. They got
Josh Bell.
They got Josh Bell and Josh Hader.
I'm about to say, now say the big one.
Right? They gave Josh. Then they also gave Musgrove a big extension, $100 million extension. So you have all these guys. Austin Riley got a huge extension for the Braves, which he deserved it. He's been balling out.
I think he's a big Riley guy.
Yeah, I think so. He has the most homers since the All-Star break of last year.
Yeah.
48, I think, over the last year, right? The Phillies made some moves. They went and got Syndergaard. Whit Merrifield went to the Blue Jays. Whit Merrifield finally got traded from the Royals. Good for him. Happy for him. So the Phillies are battling for a position. The Blue Jays, I think, are in the wild card right now. So all these guys are going for it.
The Red Sox too.
Iglesias,
right now.
They're in contention.
I know the whole division's in contention.
Yeah, they have a chance.
But I think two of those teams are like in wild card spots right now.
Well, the Yankees won the division, and then
it's the Red Sox and Blue Jays.
It's the Blue Jays and Rays.
Blue Jays and Rays.
Yeah, so like they're gonna have three teams from that same division in the playoffs.
Boston is 3 games back. Baltimore's 1.5.
Wow, that's gonna be crazy.
That's close.
The division's gonna be crazy.
For it to be that close right now, like it's either a huge fall or it's gonna be close all the way through.
No doubt. Iglesias going to the Braves. Huge addition for them. That's another arm.
That one went under the radar.
Yes,
and
it did.
That was like super last minute too, by the way.
Yes, it was.
Contreras and
Back-to-back,
Happ
baby,
not
back-to-back.
traded.
Did not get traded.
Are the huge ones that are like actually head scratchers. I can't believe they didn't move them.
Yeah, you would assume that they would
I can't believe they didn't move them.
Yeah, you would.
And it was weird. I don't know if you follow the deadline stuff at all. It's kind of weird. You don't really see this much, but the day before, those guys are all giving huge hugs to the whole team because it was pretty much all but known like they're leaving.
Right.
They're done.
Right.
And they didn't get
Christian
moved.
Vasquez got traded to the Astros same day.
Before the
during
game.
BP.
game.
They're like, walk to that dugout, buddy.
During BP. Yeah.
So they go ahead and they have Maldonado and Vasquez and they have Mancini. Like the Astros made some serious upgrades on their team.
Angels did not trade Ohtani.
Angels did not.
Apparently,
we
the White
talked
Sox
about
made
that.
a huge push for him.
Well, we talked about
I think the White Sox
we
kind
talked
of
about
messed
that.
this thing up.
Well, we talked about that off air. That they wouldn't. Why would they trade him when they have another year under contract? Wouldn't they just trade him next year?
With Ohtani?
If they can't extend him, isn't next year the year to trade him?
Yeah, sure. I mean, you
Right,
can try
next year's the last
if you were
year
gonna
of
get
his-
if you were gonna get an offer you wanted, the team was gonna. If a team trades for him,
There's
they
no-
were probably gonna offer him the extension.
Yeah. I mean, like I guess it's weird because he was in a situation that doesn't normally come up where you have an expiring contract up and he's so highly sought after that maybe someone does literally throw the boat at him right now instead of waiting until next year.
I'm interested to see how much money Soto signs for because he turned down the 15-year, $440 million deal.
I would imagine.
I think it was the years.
I think it's going to be in the same neighborhood, less years.
10 years, 440. I think that's what he gets.
I think it's going to be
Unless
same
he
neighborhood.
says,
less
okay,
years.
I'm going to give
10
you
to 12, 440.
I'm going to give you 12 for 500, whatever.
10 to 12 for somewhere between 450 and 500,
Yeah,
but
but he's gonna
probably
get-
closer to the 450.
I mean, 45 a year would make him the highest paid player per year in the big leagues.
Yeah.
Right? And so I think that's probably – because think about it. He signs a 10-year deal. He'll be a free agent again at 34.
Where you literally, he could realistically sign another
Unbelievable.
not another deal, like a realistic 6 to 7 to 8 year deal.
Yeah, if he stays in, play till 40.
That's what I'm saying. Like he could legit at that point sign that.
Crazy. But look, I mean, you have a lot of guys, a lot of teams going for it, and it's going to be the stretch run is going to be fun. It's going to be right in the middle of football season, but baseball always does a really good job because you get a lot of games middle of the week. So you're going to have when they get to the postseason in October, you're going to have baseball midweek, and then you're going to have NFL on the weekends, and then it's going to be good.
Outside of the Padres, obviously, because I mean, essentially, they're getting Soto, Bell, and
Hader.
Tatis.
Oh yeah.
Soto, Bell, Hader, and Tatis basically
When's Tatis coming back?
soon, very soon.
Is he rehabbing? Is he actually playing
I think
rehab
he's
games?
about to start the
No,
rehab
he's
assignment
taking.
now.
He just started taking bad practice and ground balls again.
So my point to it is outside of the Padres, because I think they're the biggest winner of this thing, because they were able to add to Tatis coming back. Who do you think that was? Who's the biggest
The
winner?
Braves, because we got rid of Will Smith. Good God Almighty. Thank
I think the
God.
Braves did fine. I think the Braves didn't have a lot of moves they had to make. I think they did well to like improve their team without making a significant like moving guys they probably needed to have.
Yeah.
I think the Yankees did this kind
I was
of
about to say,
similar
man, the
stuff.
Yankees went, it seemingly like they went under the radar, but they've been very quiet the past few years about making splashes. I think they did a really good job
Yeah,
this
they got
year.
some arms, too.
I agree. I think that they
They were able, you forget, they were able to get Benintendi before.
right. You forget about Benintendi.
We forget about them because he didn't happen on the last day. They got Benintendi, they got,
Gold Glove
God, we didn't
guy.
even mention him. So you got Benintendi and Bader added to the outfield.
You
You're
got
going to
a
have
lot of arms.
Stanton coming
Benintendi's
back.
actually having a pretty good.
He's hitting 300. He was an
He
all-star
hadn't
this
hit
year.
for much pop, but he's having a good year.
You got
Lloyd, you're not happy, huh?
You got some arms, too.
I just got.
That's not your fault.
I know it's not my fault.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
It's not your fault either.
No, but I didn't mean to cut you those eyes. I did cut eyes.
You cut me some.
Yeah,
Not happy.
sorry.
Are we making progress or no progress?
Should phone call out.
Huh?
Phone call out.
Okay.
Phone call in.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they did a
What's in the fucking Air Force?
pretty damn good job too. At the break, at the deadline to be able to get guys in.
Seattle made a little bit of a move. They got a couple guys to go
They
back.
did.
I know they got Jake Lamb to go back there. He's from
They did.
Seattle. They got Matt Boyd to go back. He's from
Luis
Seattle.
Castillo.
Castillo, and they got Kirk Casale in that trade with the Giants.
did
him
get
and
Kirk
Matt Boyd. So
at the
like they're
break.
all
I
going
did
up
see that.
there. Not big splashes, but they have a couple guys that
They
like
made some moves. They did. They
they're
did a
in
good
a,
job
they're
too.
in a position where I think they feel like they can maybe make a run for.
Yeah.
I don't know how far out they are of the wild card. Here's the deal.
It's gonna have to be wild card because the
Here's
Astros are winning that division.
yeah.
Wait, who?
The Mariners.
The
They're in
Mariners.
it.
They're right now. They're in the wild card, right? So here's
They got
deal,
the second wild card spot.
Yeah.
What are the Padres? Did y'all talk about this? Are they good enough to be making these moves?
Oh yeah.
Because
Oh,
they're
yeah,
not
okay.
at first. They're trying to catch the Dodgers.
They're
but
having
you
a
have-
they're having a
keeping Skenes
if
in
the
the
Dodgers
loop.
weren't
Yeah,
if the
yeah.
Dodgers weren't 30 games above 500 you would be talking about the Padres.
You're gonna have Padres are gonna be the wild card. Like they're gonna make the
Yeah.
postseason. So, but yes, they are good enough. They have a rotate. They have. I mean, their offense is legit. And then
Legit.
I mean, their offense is
Legit.
legit. Legit.
The offense
team-
is scary.
Scary, right? And they
legit
play
scary.
good defense, and you're just gonna have the guys on the mound and have to play well. And now they have
Their
a guy
question.
who's gonna close.
It's
the game
weird.
out.
They had stuff going weird. They actually, I think he was leading the league in saves. The guy they had, the lefty Taylor Rogers, but also leading the lead in blown saves.
His last month, I think, or since May, I think has been brutal.
But blown saves, right?
Yeah,
So they
right.
got rid of him. They basically traded closers. They were able to.
And he went back to the Brewers, where he was with the Brewers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they
Came
were
from
able
the
to.
Brewers to the Padres, back to the Brewers.
So you got to upgrade at the closer spot. You
Yeah.
boosted now the lineup as well, and now it's hey, can this starting staff kind of hold up to get us to the back end, and obviously can we hit? Which I think we all pretty much presume
and they're gonna
bang.
look. I think the Padres play a very exciting brand of baseball.
They
It's
do.
going to be very fun to watch them.
I
do
don't.
it.
I don't have them making it out of the National League, but I have them making a lot of noise and really. I mean, that's a scary team to play. That's not the
Yeah.
team you want to play.
Yeah, that division's tough too.
Yeah.
But I think they did well. I think the Astros added some additions. I think obviously the winner is obviously the Padres. The
Yeah.
guys they made the biggest splash.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of other teams did a really good job of like adding to their team.
Yeah,
And,
There was a
uh,
lot of
I was gonna say,
movement
it's kind
this
of like a Yankees-Astros arms race at the deadline of who could, because they're both like so close to each other. Like,
Yeah.
the Astros saw, oh,
So
y'all are
far
getting that
ahead,
guy,
but
like,
so
we gotta-
close. Like, are
yeah.
you gonna make a move? Because we need to make a move.
Yeah.
Right.
Or you made a move. We got to make another move.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Damn. I'm not putting pressure on you. I know shit happens. I'm not mad at you. If we can't get them on, we'll get them on another day. It's not your fault. I'd like to try to get them on though.
Just had to send him the text to make
Yep.
sure, like, Paul, hang with us.
Yeah, sorry.
Let's get
Technical
yeah,
difficulties,
technical-
technology
I know,
stinks
he's an
sometimes.
Army, he's an Air Force man, you know.
I don't know what is. Can you just let's give the fan like let's tell our fans, the people listening, what is the issue you think right now?
That's if I knew the answer, then I could solve
Okay.
the riddle. But it seems to be we have another computer hooked up that we have because we're going from, this is stupid, we're going from vMix Call to StreamYard, and now it's hooked up for the audio to StreamYard, but it won't hook up to vMix Call, and nobody told me that.
Oh, so we should be using StreamYard right now.
Right, but we're not set up for it completely.
Okay. Well, we'll figure it out. While we wait, We are active now with our promotion and our giveaway with Caesars, right? And so, did you put the stuff in
it's in the live chat.
What is the code?
So
here's the deal.
2.
We have 2 giveaways.
One for
the LSU game, which is August. It's Labor Day. It's Sunday before Labor Day.
4th.
September 4th.
Florida State, the opener.
LSU at Florida State against LSU in New Orleans in the Superdome. We will be there. We also are partnered with Caesars. We are giving away 4 tickets to that game. That is also a giveaway. Now, we have the rules and how you need to apply for these tickets and a promo code. Do you have the rules down so that I can give our people the right way to apply for this?
You use there's an LSU code and there's a Saints code, which we'll say, but to get in, you just simply use that code to sign up for Caesars and place your risk-free bet. And that way, once you put your bet down, it's marked that you signed up with the code and used it. And then once we go to pick, everybody that's used the code will be in like a Caesars database. And
now, here's my question: if they already signed up for Caesars, does this still count?
Now that I don't know. You'd have to ask the Caesars guy.
Okay, so what we know
but basically, all you need to do to sign up is use a different email, because how they're gonna contact the winner is through their email that they signed up with.
Okay, so to get the LSU tickets, and I'll have more details. We have a show on Friday from Uncle Earl's. I'll have all of the details. I just know that we have 4 tickets from the LSU to give away for the LSU game. The code is MMLSU15, right?
Correct.
So if you want to apply, if you want to sign up and try to win the tickets to this game, MMLSU15 is the code. Yeah. Log into the Caesars app.
And there's a link that will automatically put the code in the live chat.
And you put it in the chat, and we're going to post it on social media. That is for the LSU Florida State game, September 4th at the Superdome in New Orleans. Second giveaway we have is 4 tickets to a New Orleans Saints preseason game, which is what is the date for that?
Oh, I didn't.
We do not know the date.
I can't find the date for it.
We'll find it for you. 4 tickets to the Saints preseason game. That code is MMSaints15, correct?
Yep.
There you go. So you have 2 codes. You have to apply with 2 giveaways. You have to apply with 2 different codes, and that's how we are going to determine the winner. I will have more details for you later on. As I know, this happened while I was out of town doing some other types of business stuff in Denver, and we got this. So I need to, huh?
What?
What'd you say?
Another type of business?
Some other business stuff.
You didn't hear what he said. You
I
didn't
didn't
hear what he said.
But I will have more of a detail. I'll know exactly how we need to do this. But I do know we have the giveaways for the LSU and the Saints preseason game. And told you, we were going to start doing some things to make it more interactive. We're going to start giving some really cool stuff away. We have a really good sponsorship at Caesars. And it is going to be fun. It's not working? It's cooked.
Cooked over here.
Okay, so I apologize. We're gonna have to postpone this interview with Paul Skenes. Hopefully next Monday we will have him on. We are having some technical difficulties with these phone calls. We will get it fixed. So you're stuck with the boys for the rest of the show. I'm sorry for teasing you. It happens. It's all part of it. Happens. We're here. We're hopefully entertaining. We're giving away some tickets, teaching you how to win the tickets. That's all you can do. You know what I mean? So appreciate the effort, Floyd.
I tried my best.
Appreciate it. I can take these earphones off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You're still working on it?
Fixing it back to
Okay, back to what it was. Okay, well, now we go back to what we're talking about, which was baseball. But that is probably reached the peak of what we need to talk about.
Oh yeah, baseball talk's done. So now the break is there. I mean,
well, that's what I want to say. The difference. So like you have all these teams that are making these moves, and all these teams that are within 2 to 4 games of the wild card.
Right.
This next month, you are going to see the make or break. This is the make or break month of that, right? You're gonna have.
This is the untalked about make or break.
Right,
month.
like you're gonna have teams that are gonna fade away, right? And then you're gonna have teams that are. So this is what I think. This is what makes it fun. Like you're gonna have teams that aren't playing. They're not very sure, and they're gonna kind of fade off, right? Or they're gonna have teams that really make that jump, and then you're gonna get to September, and it's gonna be all division play in September, and that's where the big difference happens.
It doesn't get talked about enough because You just come back from a break. It's usually hot as balls in the month of August pretty much everywhere, right?
No doubt.
So everyone's kind of trying to get back into the swing of it. But what happens is the month of August is very, very, very important as far as for the pennant race, right? A 4-game, you get swept in a series here, you sweep 2 series in a row. Stuff like that really swings you for the position of what is the stretch run in September.
Yeah.
And it doesn't get talked about enough in August because it's everybody's kind of basically, we got new players. We just got back from the break. We're trying to get back into the swing of everything. And next thing you know, the 30 days in August or 31 days in August have already gone by.
Yeah.
Well, then that's what it is. But this is a huge month. And there's a lot of stuff that goes on. And teams are going to make runs, whether they're good or bad.
What?
Might not be cooked.
Oh.
Whether they're good or bad, that's going to make or break that stretch run.
No doubt. And here's my prediction. I think, let's say you have, who just came back, pitcher? What am I drawing right?
DeGrom.
Let's say DeGrom stays healthy rest of the year.
Braves still weren't going back to back.
Nope.
Continue.
I'm sorry to hurt your feelings. I think right now, that
that guy stays healthy, good luck.
the ALCS is going to be the Yankees and the Astros, I believe. That's what I think that's gonna.
Great rematch.
Which is going to be an awesome rematch.
Great rematch.
Right, and then I think in the NL, I
Mets,
think it's
Dodgers.
going to be the Mets and Padres. I think the
Now let me
Padres.
let me just throw this.
I think the NL is pretty stacked though. I mean, you really
No doubt.
could have Braves, Mets, Dodgers, and Padres.
NL, the playoffs are going to be awesome.
But now let me just throw this at you though, because here's the one thing that really bothers me about the whole DeGrom situation, and kind of makes me skeptical about the Mets, because the Mets usually find their way to Mets, correct? Right? Is DeGrom comes back in his first start, he goes 5, he strikes out 6, he gives up 3 hits, he only gives up 1 run. What happened? They lose. They find a way to lose when he's on the mound, and it doesn't matter what his stat line is.
Did you see how nasty he was?
Oh my God, Coach!
I'm like, first of all, how does he keep having form issues and his UCL still's there?
I don't.
Had Tommy John.
You watch that guy throw. So like, I'm sitting here, I'm watching him pitch, and everything like this. The level of what he can do is you watch him pitch, and everything's literally right down the hill, right at the. There's no falling off the mound. All of his momentum's at the plate,
it's clean.
And you watch other people throw that hard, and they're like their body's not in the screen after they finish releasing the pitch. It's so easy for him to do what he does, and it's like, but it's easy and it jumps too. Still, There's a lot of guys that throw. You know it. There's guys that throw 97 plus, and you're like, it just feels easy. His is easy, and it still hits another gear.
I got to face him in spring training. That was the only time I actually ever faced him. Hit a double, right? Only reason I hit a double is because Tim Tebow was playing left field, got a very bad jump. And fell in the gap, right? So I'll take the double, but I went up there thinking, okay, I am swinging first pitch. It's the second inning. Like I'm not getting to the slider. I don't want to get to the changeup. I'm going to hit the 95, 96 because it's spring training, so he wasn't really juicing it. I'm like, I'm going to hit the 96, and I'm going to slide it. And thankfully, I hit it, and I was so not cheating to it, but I was so ready for it that I was caught a little bit out in front, hit it in the gap, and didn't reach the track. But it fell.
Did reach the grass.
It got to the grass, and it fell, and I thank Tim Tebow for that opportunity.
Speaking of...
After he tackled a ball in foul play down the left field line earlier in the game.
Oh, my God. Speaking of the slider, that you didn't want to get to the slider, is I did see a stat today that said the average fastball right now in the major leagues is 94 point something miles per hour. Jacob deGrom's average slider, I think last night, was 93 miles an hour.
Crazy. And his changeup was like 94 or something.
I'm like, that is outrageous.
Unbelievable.
Man.
Speaking of shoving, Kevin
back to it.
Gosman.
Yeah, back to
8 innings, 1 hit, 10 punches.
Hey, back to it.
Back in the mix for the Cy Young, baby.
Yeah. He puts together a nice 2 months there. He's back in that mix.
He did make the All-Star team with a 2.8 ERA. Unbelievable.
It reminds me of, like, you remember those years where it was Ryan Howard, no All-Star team, MVP at the end of the year.
Yep.
It reminds me of stuff like that. Like, that's what he's got a chance of doing.
Unbelievable. I think he's right back in the mix.
He is.
That was an unbelievable start.
He is.
He's back. Baseball is going to come down to the wire. It's going to be fun. But, hey, boys, it's football season. It's football season. And we're going to talk about football. And we're going to get some football coverage. We got Jack getting some credentials. Jack's going to be there with his camera, with some. He's probably not going to ask any interview questions.
But
But we're gonna have.
no, I'm not asking no questions.
We're gonna have.
First practice. Coach, who's
some
quarterback?
Actual coverage there from our guy, and I'm looking forward to it because I've just been looking forward to talking football, and we have a bunch of football guests that are eager to come on. So we will be getting
I will record the interview questions. I'm not asking them now.
Nice packed fall coming for
a
you.
lot of people coming, a lot of action, a lot of people wanting to come, asking to come.
We have one more big baseball guy. But
It's good.
Yeah.
They might not be the only big.
I mean, we can keep mixing baseball in there.
No, I know. I'm
They
just
might
saying.
find their way in here in the
Missiles
fall
flying.
too.
Yeah.
Missiles are flying. They're loading up.
Missiles are flying.
Yeah.
We just got a whole bunch of ammo. Looking forward to it. How are we going?
No, call
Give me
you back.
one more second. I think I might be on the verge of something
On
here.
a video or a voice?
Video.
Oh,
We might be able to get there.
Okay, is Paul up to date with everything?
No, that's my next move.
Hopefully he's waiting.
No, he is up to date with. I said this might be
postponement?
cooked, coach, and then now this is a new development. I just got off the phone with Joe, our very smart man that knows more than I do,
Okay.
and so we made some progress there.
Okay.
So I'm thinking there's one more trick. If it doesn't work, we'll do it on
Alright.
Monday, but it will be figured out by
Okay.
tomorrow or 5 minutes.
Hopefully 5 minutes. But yeah, football season is gonna be awesome.
Super excited.
And I'm looking forward to giving away these tickets because we're gonna be at the game. We're gonna be tailgating. We're gonna be having a really good time. And I'm looking forward to giving away these tickets. And hopefully y'all can come and hang out and tailgate with us at some point wherever we're at. And it's football season. Like this is gonna be for 2 years LSU has been
Not
LSU,
God,
right?
that's
To
right.
where like nobody
Couldn't have
wants
been
to
said any better.
right, like not to tailgating wasn't the same. COVID obviously was different. They weren't winning. They didn't have any energy. It was a debacle all around. Now, a lot more energy, a whole different staff, new players, new atmosphere, new chemistry, new things to look at, a lot of excitement, and you get the first game in New Orleans. Which
It's
you
the
do very
beginning
well
of
in.
football season where realistically,
Yeah.
when it comes to be football season, everybody thinks they can win. But
No
you're at
doubt.
LSU where you actually have a legit chance of winning.
And
So it's
tailgates are going to
different.
be popping a little bit more. You're
Yeah,
going
it's
to have more
different.
energy. I asked that the student section gets. Now, look, if you build it, they will come, right? You win, and you keep winning, you're going to get people to go in the stands. You're going to have people stay in the stadium a lot longer. We have big games at home that people are going to want to stay at.
Yeah.
Tennessee, Bama.
Tennessee, Bama, Mississippi
Ole
State,
Miss.
Ole Miss.
I mean, look at how hard.
Is Auburn away?
Yes, because that's what I was about to say. Look at how hard LSU tried to get up for 8:00 game. Auburn, like you want to believe in it, but we all kind of felt like it wasn't right.
Right.
Like it was a turning point in the season. Maybe like if we can win this one, maybe we can get some. Maybe we can get
Yeah.
like a little momentum and
Before the
lightning
game
in a
was
bottle.
awesome,
Absolutely,
though. People
that's what I'm
flying on
saying.
the field, they fly off.
That's
down.
LSU.
Right.
That's what. But we all were kind of. It felt like we were kind of pretending. We were like,
Right.
I don't think this team's good enough to do enough damage.
Right.
But
Is A&M at home this year?
No.
No.
Hey, we played A&M home
Jerry
last
Jenkins,
year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Max
Yeah.
Johnson.
Right. I know who's on the team.
Yeah. Well, no, the last minute touchdown
Last
pass.
play.
Yeah, but I know I
Yeah.
couldn't remember right.
All white unis.
Okay, I don't know that, but I mean, you can still throw a game-winning touchdowns on the road. You know what I mean? I just didn't know for at home. It's not like it's baseball where the home team gets last at bat. You know what I mean?
No, but usually you remember the game winners at home. I think that was always the point.
Yeah.
I didn't go to it, so
Oh.
That's the problem.
I don't think I went to it. Maybe I did go to it.
I didn't go
Oh,
to that
good
one.
Shows you
Lord.
how bad. Shows you how much of a blur last.
The
years
last
were.
2 years have been
You know what I mean? Like
not that desirable. Not many memorable
no,
moments.
but this year is the Saints. The Saints hopefully get off to a hot streak, and they start getting their games start getting flexed to where
Prime time.
I can go to both.
The prime time match.
Because listen, that 12:00
I
game.
need a
next
little.
day on
I
Sunday
can't. I'm not
is
trying to get up that early.
tough.
How many
That
times?
is tough to do.
How many times?
Not even.
have
It's
you
not
done
even
that?
about getting
I've
up
done it
that
a few
early.
times.
Hey, it's not even about getting. There's a good amount of stuff you have to do to flex it and turn it around and get there by a noon game.
And listen,
There's a lot. That's a lot to ask.
and it's not. I love my wife more than anything.
I don't think you want to go down. I don't.
I
think
just
you're,
my
you
wife.
get-
It takes my wife a
Proceed
little
with
longer to get ready, right? And so
I was
So
about to go down
what
the
I'm
road
so
with
what
you, and I
I, so what
stopped
I'm
myself.
hearing right now. I'm just saying what I'm hearing right
It's
now
not my fault.
is you're blaming us on her.
no, let me get there. I'm just saying.
You keep driving down this road and
I
see
like when
where
the game
Takes
gets
forever.
flexed
She doesn't
because
like
now
regular
On
French
air.
fries.
Yeah,
Because now she's not rushed to get ready, and we can take our time. We get to New Orleans, and we're good. It's good.
It's very eloquently said.
You know?
I just don't think it's going to be received the same
That's
way.
why I like it getting flexed.
It's an impossible conversation.
She's gotten a lot better at being a lot quicker.
Well, that's why you got to start telling her the 12 o'clock game starts at 10:30.
Pick out the outfit the night before.
Hey,
But
no,
she
no,
knows
no.
because she's a
Figure it out.
cheerleader.
No, but you got to say they changed it. I don't know why.
It's in London.
It's
what?
the London
For what?
game, but it's here.
It's here.
It's the third London game this year, honey.
Yeah, we're trying to get them acclimated to our timeline.
There'll be times she says, you know what, just go. I'm not going. I'm like, okay, well, I'll go.
Just tell me that. Like on the front end.
Oh, well, no.
Yeah.
No, she's gotten better. She'll come to the game. She enjoys going to the Saints games with me, which
What
is
is
awesome.
peak bad? Like how late
What do you mean?
to a game where you're like,
Um,
you want to get there at what time and you ended up there at what time?
we've actually never had a really bad, like, we've never been, like, super late to any of those, like, in like, a Saints game. Like, we usually are there with plenty
For a
of
kick.
time and for kickoff. And if we're not there for kickoff, it's because we just left the restaurant that we were eating or drinking at before.
But you're in the city.
We're in the city.
Okay.
Now, in
Yeah, I
LSU,
think
LSU
LSU
games, we're never in jeopardy of missing the game because we go tailgate. And so I set a time to go tailgate. Now we may be a little later to go tailgate, but I can deal with that because you still got a few hours
Some concessions.
before the game. Yeah, how are we doing over there?
Not good.
So it's cooked.
It's cooked.
Did you tell him it was cooked?
Yes.
Okay, so we're cooked. Paul Skenes not coming on. He'll be coming on Monday. We'll figure out all this stuff, but I appreciate your effort.
Thank you. I
It's a
really
shame
did
that
try. I
didn't
tried
happen.
very hard.
That's okay. I know you did. There's nothing you can do.
My frustration was on my face.
It happens. It happens. I'm not mad at you. Listen, I'm glad we're able to have a show today. I'm glad that you got in town from Florida.
Well,
How was your trip? How was your trip from Florida? Let's talk about that.
I got fussed at for that too, for trying to get back here. But regardless,
No, don't go down that road.
yes, we tried to make it happen.
You don't want to burn both bridges.
Which would be the other bridge?
Well, you burned one on Father's Day.
Oh, I did.
You don't want to burn the other bridge with
kinda
Mama
did.
Bear.
I did.
So
We
now
got
you're
into a
just
shouting
you're just in
match.
limbo now.
Is it my fault? Is this?
You're gonna-
I've started to think
No, it's
maybe
not
it's
your fault.
me.
Nah,
I
Nah,
don't think so.
that's good.
Not
You
your
can go
fault.
burn that bridge if you think this is you're not my fault. And just
Yeah, it's
don't
not your
go down
fault.
that
It's
road.
not your fault.
I don't think it's.
I appreciate you making the effort to come back.
I appreciate you making the effort.
You were
to
there
come
for what,
back.
5 days?
No, it was there Saturday, Sunday. Wait, no, Sunday.
Oh, you got there
Monday.
Sunday, didn't go Saturday.
Yeah.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So 3 days.
Yeah, which is perfect. I think if you really want to get into it, perfect vacation time is about 3 days. I don't want to
See,
be
it
there
depends on what
until
you do.
the
Depends
beach.
on what you do and who you're with. Like, I can go to the beach for a week if it's with a smaller group and like it's a chill, whatever. But if it's going to be, hey, we're gonna go out there and we're gonna like
Blow it
drink and blow it out, give me 4 days, three days, maybe the fourth day like we leave, you know. But like, other than that, now if it's chill, we have some drinks and we're like not partying, but like it's there for like.
It just depends on what kind of vacation you got, because you got to realize that when you get
What do
back
you
to
think
real
I'm
life.
doing on vacation?
Yeah,
It's not
this-
really
my point
vacation.
is when you get back to real life and you hit the ground running, you go past 3. If you're going hard, it's gonna be tough to kind of pivot.
No doubt. I enjoy. Like, to me, a vacation is like, there's a lot of times you go on vacation with a big group of people and you have a good time. Like, you come back and you're more tired than you were when you went to vacation, right? Because you didn't get much sleep and you partied or whatever. I like the vacation. I like both. I like that one, but I also like the vacation where you go and you're like, okay, I don't have to worry about anything. I can just hang out. I can chill. There's no schedule like that. Where you come back and you're actually relaxed. That's good. But I'm glad you were able to experience the beach. You don't seem like you got much of a tan.
It wasn't very.
It was rainy, overcast.
Yeah, the sun wasn't out, but he was around. Old Ray Baker
Peeked
was.
out- peeked out a little bit. Peeked out a little bit.
We kind of it was like. Have you ever peed in a parking lot?
What?
And it kind of splashes on your ankles, like when you're peeing and you're like, oh,
I
I'm kind
guess.
of getting pissed on.
I guess, yeah.
That's what it was like. It's like it wasn't raining hard enough to leave, but it was like this kind of dumb that
That's
we're
kind of
out
how
here.
it was when I was there for the 4th of July.
Yeah, like, but you feel like you have to be outside.
I get
like,
that.
I have to be at the beach because we're at the beach.
Yeah.
But I'm also, it's kind of like I would never do this in any other scenario.
I
Like
got
it's wet outside,
I got you.
except for the golf course.
Lloyd, the intro music is playing.
I'm sure it is. It's not my fault.
You can hear us fine, but it's just in the background.
I can't hear it.
Well, we're a mess.
It's a
the stream
total
can hear it.
total debacle.
We're a mess. How was your weekend, Jay?
It's
I
great.
know it's Wednesday, but we didn't have a Monday show, and I'm just getting back. so I
Very,
didn't get
very,
to-
very chill weekend.
Love that.
Very chill.
I'm gonna take another vacation.
My weekend was good. This last 3 days were a grind. I was in Denver. I stayed at the hotel in the West.
Did you make
End.
any friends?
I did. I did.
What's his name?
Meet some interesting
What's
people.
his name?
There was it was a lot of an age group was varied from like older guys to like younger. There's 21, 22-year-olds that just out of college, which good for them. They're gonna do insurance. They're gonna be commercial insurance. They make a lot of money by the time they're 30.
Ugh.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, they make a lot of money by that.
good for
time.
those guys. So like, it was good. It was got to see a lot of like higher up people, and it was fun. It was long.
Where
Say fun, it was
did
long.
you settle? What
do you
age
mean?
group were you? Did you trend older than you thought or younger than you thought?
A little bit above. I mean, it wasn't like I didn't really do like we were just there. Like we didn't have enough time to like go and do a lot of different things.
Water cooler talk?
Yeah, and then people
Did they know?
they started
anything
to
about
figure
you?
that out. I mean, because I got forced.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, like, because like what happens? Like, oh, how long have you been with the company? I've been with the company for 2 months. What'd you do before? And so like,
A lot.
When
Yeah.
exactly?
well, so this is really I've never
Did you
worked.
say you host
so-
a podcast?
I did.
a
I
YouTube
brought, well, not in
channel?
front of everybody, but I had brought the people I did talk about too. I said, "This is what I do."
This is what I used
Outside
to
of
do.
this, that's what I used to do. And then you had a couple guys. They had a bunch of baseball fans there actually, and you had a couple guys that remember they put together. You had a couple guys from Michigan, Detroit fans. They put together. And you had a couple guys from Boston who remember me playing against Boston. So like, it was kind of cool. And it was like I don't feel as bad doing it in that industry as saying what I used to do because it has to come up in conversation. People always ask like, "Where'd you come from?"
It's natural.
And I'm not going out there saying, "Oh yeah, I played professional baseball," and just kind of flaunting it, right? But
I would.
definitely helps. I will say that definitely helps. It's a conversation piece, and it was great.
I think
Yeah,
That'd be
you
my
would
conversation.
It only
take
definitely
those
helps
out.
when you know how to use it right
No
now,
doubt.
right?
That'd be my
go.
conversation starter.
Yeah,
That's when it usually ends up not helping at some
yeah,
point
that's,
down
yeah,
the
you gotta,
road.
learn, you gotta learn that lesson. Like,
Right. Then you go ahead and start telling stories. You're like, "Oh, this is good. I'm in."
Speaking of
Good.
Detroit, I don't know if this is anybody. Is this your curtain call? Did
No.
you see the at bat that I sent both of you?
No.
The Javi Baez versus.
Yes.
Oh, that was a
former-
great at
That
bat.
is a
God, I
good
love
at-bat.
that.
But it just made me because they showed Miggy in the dugout, who's absolutely tanked, just giggling the entire time.
I loved it.
And I just
I actually love that a lot.
battle.
I think it was a great. I mean, that's first.
The
of all,
at bat was great. The you could
I think
tell
it
how
worked
much
out
it
best
meant.
for both. They walked.
I think they
walked.
Well,
I think
and
they
I
had
think you
money
got a
riding
call.
on. I think they had money riding on that.
I think so. Yeah, that's what it felt like.
I really do
No
think they
doubt.
had money riding on that.
You said why did you get the?
I think he got it kind of just because it was such a show of an at bat where he hit 3 bombs foul.
Yeah.
And then he almost buckles him. He walks, and then nope. Actually, you need one more pitch, and I think that one was.
Can we go props one time too? Props to that umpire by not buying into kind of how that whole thing went and kind of staying straight because the 3-2 slider he threw him was literally a
It's
ball
just-
off, and it was
And
caught well. It was
Barrios
thrown
is-
in a great spot, and he didn't.
Barrios' slider is really
And
good.
it's really good.
Because
Really
it
good.
felt
He's
like
in the book.
everybody went.
Tasty.
What was that? Yep.
Taste test.
How's that taste?
He's in the book.
But
If
it
you
felt
don't know
like-
what the book means,
Oh, I do.
Took him deep.
Yeah. That means very easy.
we don't talk about the book on Bloop Singles.
Yeah.
You
The
know
book-
what the book
You
means.
know,
Texas leaguers.
Yeah, books. You have some books. I'm more of like it's a short story. I think
short
my book.
story.
My book's
It's all
more
good.
of a short
It's all
story.
good.
It's not a novel.
Happens.
The amount of homers.
It's not the Lord of the Rings,
more of a
but-
short story.
Yeah. It's still, but it's still, yeah. You went to the editor, and they're like, "Yeah, we'll publish
Yeah.
it."
No, I thought I was gonna have more, but
Yeah. That's not your fault.
it was a good seller.
New York bestseller.
Where's
Amazon,
Joey Gallo?
Amazon ebook.
Yeah.
It's on the ebook.
Audiobook.
Yeah. It's okay.
More of a podcast.
But he's got a nasty slider, and that's a really cool. That was a cool matchup, and I think that they both won. And I think that he didn't give up a hit. You walked him, but you also didn't give up a hit, and you didn't strike out. So I think that's a good way to go.
I'd love to know what the inside wager was. There had to be something. Whether it was money, whether it was something at holiday time, they had something riding on that.
So Samson's committing on Jordy's show.
Seems to be.
He's at wasn't he committing at Catholic's gym? Jordy's
I
streaming
think we're
from
just
there.
carrying it. We're
Yeah.
going to stream it. He's not going to be here. He's going to be at
I
Catholic.
was like, damn, how do you get him to come into here? To
Right.
give it?
I feel like you have to do it at the high school gym, though, right?
You feel like he's coming to LSU, right?
I think he's between LSU and Florida
all-time heel
And
turn.
who?
Or Florida State?
State. I think those are the two.
Yeah, because Gabe Fertitta, the former Catholic coach, now
Wow.
coaches wide receivers at Florida State, and they have a great relationship.
yeah.
So I don't know I don't know anything.
I think he's between
But-
LSU and Florida State.
But I feel like if you're going
I think
live,
LSU's a
come on,
favorite.
it would be an all-time heel turn if he went somewhere else.
See, I think the reason,
Like who was it? Landon Collins.
yeah, Well, that was
Miami?
that was
Went to
different though. That was
Alabama?
at the All American
Alabama.
game. That was
Yeah,
at the
but
All
that's what I'm
American
saying.
game.
But you had
With
the
his
mom
mom?
and
With his mom?
the whole spectacle.
Yeah.
Best place. To him
What's
was
the camp?
LSU.
What's the camp schedule? I know it's on. The link's on there. Do you know it off the top of your head?
It's on there. Like in terms of like soon or like the whole camp. I know they have like I know they have like some midweek scrimmages in the stadium, which is a little different. It's not just Saturdays. Like I saw one that's like
good.
there's one on like one or two on Wednesdays.
Love that.
But-
What is camp from your experience, right? Like, I have a little bit of I've never done it in college, right? But I kind of understand how it goes. I know a lot of fans probably have a different perception of how camp is, what goes into it, how it starts. What is it like as a player to go to camp and like, do you just jump right into it? Like, they expect you to go like balls to the wall first day, or do they ease you into it? Like, how does preseason camp work like in August?
You asked that much better than I did. I tried to get there, and I didn't even know how to really broach the conversation.
You're eased into it in the sense of.
How did you say it?
I don't even remember.
You're eased
glad
into
it's
it.
all
You're eased into it in the sense of maybe workload, but
Yeah.
you're expected to. Everything's done full speed.
First day pads?
No, probably not. They probably either they went shells, which is just pads,
Right.
no bottom, or they just went helmets maybe.
Yeah.
Or they'll
And
just
how
go
long?
helmets.
How long do they usually do that? It
Day or
depends
two.
on the coach, I guess, right?
Day or two.
Yeah.
Day or two, just so you can get acclimated for a quote unquote practice schedule in the heat with stuff on, because you
Yeah.
haven't done this in the heat. Do that, and then it'll be into pads, and
Then it's on.
then at that point it's.
you have
you
one
turn them
month.
into boys.
1 month.
How many people? Who made more people quit? LeBron or Chad?
Nobody's quitting. It's just
Well, I mean-
quit's a different thing at this level.
The
Tell me
lights
this:
went out.
when you were there, who was the I want to get this name right before I say it. Who was equivalent on the team at the time? Who was equivalent to the pinning? Who was equivalent
There's
to Kyle
always
Turley,
there's
right?
always
Like,
no there's always a lot of them. I mean,
who's the guy that like, damn,
it's
this guy's
usually
gonna rub everybody wrong.
it's usually maybe
Get some
one or two O
arguments.
linemen, but usually the defensive lineman that's always swiping at the quarterback for no reason, like trying to swipe at the ball. You may get one guy who likes to touch you a little too much after the whistle's blown. It just it's everything. Every kind of everything. That's how it goes. That's how you get the Patrick Queens fighting with Joe
Yeah,
Burrow. Like
right.
that's
No doubt.
that's how it goes.
Yeah, no doubt. Which
It's
I
just
like.
how it goes.
You look at Josh Allen fighting with his defensive
Yeah,
line.
it's just
like,
how it goes.
That's the way it goes, and you want to see that because that's competitiveness. That is like,
But
that's what you want to see.
to the question you asked, like, who made people quit? Quit's at a different level here.
Right.
Like,
You're
there's not
it's
literally,
high
I'm
school,
not
you
showing
coming
up
back,
tomorrow.
yeah.
But like, once you put pads on, you realize who's
Who's
okay?
alligator arms.
Well, who's okay? Yeah, exactly. Who's okay with literally sticking their face first out every time? Who's gets hit one time and then now doesn't want to extend
Right.
the catch balls?
Right.
Who talked a lot of shit before and all of a sudden is an
It's
arm
real
tackler.
now.
He's an arm tackler. He doesn't hit you. He wants to grab you and bring you down. Like you find out who those guys are. And look, let's be honest too. You could be completely one person one year, and then all of a sudden the switch flips and you're the opposite the next year. It's you don't find the guys that like want to keep doing that over and over and over. That's when you know you got something different.
I'm looking forward
This is what it
to
is.
obviously the big thing. I got a little something in my mouth. The big battle and what everybody's interested in doing is watching the quarterback situation, right? I understand
Obviously.
that. I'm excited to see what happens, but what I'm excited for, what I can't wait to see, is I want to see the secondary, right? I want to see the guys who transferred in. I want to see if they're the real deal. I want to see. Hopefully, we have some of these young guys.
I need
step
to hear
up.
more.
Like, I need to see something in the secondary to make me feel really good about our defense.
I don't. I need to see it more up front. Like I just need to know that.
But I know they're gonna be good.
No. I need to see how good, because the better they are there, the
better
better they're going to
secondaries,
be.
no doubt.
So if we could be dominant, like literally, like legit dominant up front,
Yeah.
then I'm like, okay, well, the defense got a real chance. Or the other way, both ways around. Like the better we are up front,
I think we have 2 All-Americans on our defensive line this year. I really do.
Smith and Ojulari.
A lot of talk about Jaquillian Roy.
I think. Well, the only
Well,
problem.
they said
the
that
only
he's
problem with
like
him being an All-American is he's going to split reps with the other nose guard.
Tank,
I don't know. Let me look at it.
Guillory.
we're deep though.
Yeah, that one.
we're
Yeah.
deep, which is
A-Town.
awesome.
Him and Roy are going to be splitting the nose.
Jacoby and Guillory.
I think our linebackers are really good too.
Yeah.
I really do. I don't think people talk enough about our linebacking core. I think they are going to be – our front seven is going to be really, really, really good. I think the secondary obviously is the big question mark. That's why I'm so curious to see, like, hey, who's going to step up, who's going to be good? Because I think that they do have some talent there. They just have a lot of question marks, and I just want to see that.
I guess the reason why I say that too, like don't get me wrong, was he physically 100%? Probably not. But the Derek Stingley you saw year one compared to the Derek Stingley you saw after didn't look the same. Why? Because we were not as good up front.
Right.
I think that stuff plays huge into what you see on the secondary. So I want to see how good they can be up front because that just gives them more room for error on the back end.
For sure. And being that good with the front seven and getting pressure on the quarterback and forcing him to make quicker decisions leads to more turnovers, right?
Yep.
Sacks, fumbles, interceptions, like all of those things.
Momentum.
Just think of it this way.
Yeah,
just think of it this way.
Starts flowing.
Like big
Well, you
pressures.
just gotta say, think of it. Whether it's turnovers or not. If I'm asking you to cover a guy for 5 seconds or for 3 seconds, which one do you think you'll be better at?
3 seconds.
Okay, so that goes across the board, and I don't
Lloyd's
care
a
how
master
good
at
you
3
are.
seconds.
Was that?
Said Lloyd's
I'd
a
like
master
to,
at 3 seconds.
my mind said 5
Well,
seconds.
here's what I really like.
Makes all the difference.
It does make all the difference. My brain is mush right now, but I'm
Yeah.
grinding. I'm
We're
grinding through this
faking
thing.
it.
You're talking about seconds, right? Like 3 seconds, 5 seconds, getting to the quarterback and
Make it through the trailer.
forcing them to make these decisions and make these quick decisions. For me as a defense, of course you want 3 and outs all the time. You want to get the ball back and you don't want them to gain any yards. Listen, as long as we are good from inside the 20s,
Yeah.
if we are elite inside of both 20s, right? They're backed up inside their end zone, their red zone, or by their end zone. They don't make any moves, and we can stop them, and we can get them in a position where we flip the field. Love that. If they start on the 25 and 30, and they get all the way down, they get to the 20, and that's where they stop, and our red zone defense is unbelievable, and they have to settle for field goals all the time. I can tolerate that too. So, for me, it's the 20s.
Okay, so then let's flip it to the other side of the ball in offense. What to you constitutes I'm not saying a 2019 LSU offense, but what constitutes a good offense to you?
So to me, I want an offense that can be multiple, right? They can run different types of schemes. They're not predictable, and they run a smooth thing, right? Everything, like the quarterback's up there, maybe they change pen tempo, right? Maybe they're going quick tempo, not tempo. But I also want to see I want them to be efficient inside the red zone. I need them to score touchdowns and not settle for field goals.
So
The kicker.
That's the new kicker.
Well, I was literally just about to say the same thing, in a sense of, you said it on defense, and I feel the same way about the offense.
No doubt.
I need you to not always put our defense in bad spots, which means you're moving the ball, right? And then when we get inside the 20 on the other side, you're converting and you're scoring touchdowns. Kind of the same thing, don't have us backed up,
right?
And when we get there, don't make us have to kick.
I offensively, we don't need to be the most explosive offense. I think we're going to be good offensively. I just need I just need them to be efficient. I need them to say, when you get in the red zone, our touchdown rate is going to be extremely high.
And keep the turnovers out of here.
Yep, no doubt.
See, my question would
That's
be,
all easier said than done.
No, for sure.
Absolutely.
It is.
You
But
don't
red
that's
zone's
what-
the hardest
like-
part of the
But like
game.
I said, just to be good teams.
Yeah.
To be a good team. Not to say you're going to win, go undefeated in the season. Not to say you're going to win the SEC. But if you want to be in the conversation, chances are your defense is something closer to that, and your offense is something closer to what we just said too. That's all.
We're going to get this Ricky Collins kid.
Mhm.
Yep.
It's coming now, right?
But before we go to
Ricky,
that, I think that should
reconsider.
be I think we should get on that topic because we got Jay Mitch's thoughts and how LSU kind of plays in when you're from here and what happens. And
You like this commit? You like this one? It's right up your alley. 4-star from Louisiana.
you gotta get him.
Gotta get him.
Gotta get him
Go
in the
ahead,
boat.
go ahead.
But I was going to say, I'm more interested. It's a conversation that I don't think many people are having because they're so enamored with the quarterback debate as who's going to play quarterback as opposed to
Oh, shit. I was supposed to keep going.
how that would that feel good.
I forgot something. No, keep going. Keep talking. Go.
I don't even know where I was. I think they're as opposed to talking about what kind of offense LSU was going to run. Because if you remember, I mean, everything since Joe Brady's left, it's like we got to get back to this style of offense, da-da-da-da-da. But now it's only been who's going to play quarterback.
Right.
And I don't know if I've dived into it a little bit, but I think once the quarterback situation is figured out, people will be like, what kind of system are we running?
Right.
And then
Right.
it's going to be a huge topic for the remainder
Yeah, I
of
think
the
That
year.
I'm not that worried about. I mean, I guess you can say curious, yeah, a little bit, but I think
I mean, he hired and fired the guy before.
no, I'm about to say, but I think Brian's done a good job of being very adjustable while he was at Notre Dame with what
He
he
certainly
had.
has a style.
He does, but he was able to make things work no matter what he had behind center, right? Like he had guys that could run, he had guys that couldn't run, and they were still somewhat productive on the offensive side of the ball. I have a good feel about him being able to come in and whoever he's going to give the reign to being able to adjust to what they do best. So we'll see. I mean, obviously, I don't think Miles Brennan is going to be doing a lot of the same stuff that Jaden Daniels is going to be doing. You get what I'm saying? So there you go. I think the playbook's the same. They're all getting the same one, but depending on who's going to run out there and be under center, we might be cutting off this part right here. You get that's just what it would. I would imagine because of what he's been able to do in the past with the variety and the versatility of quarterbacks that maybe if we can have a Jaden Daniels under center, you might get the whole playbook. If it's not that, you might get something different.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm ordering dinner.
You just got called on in class, and
I'm ordering dinner for my wife.
Oh, what's for dinner? Brought to you by Doe's Eat Place.
Well, it's supposed to be syrups, but syrups is not
accepting
orders.
But I think the reason why nobody's talking about the scheme is because I think it is dependent on who wins the starting job. Like, obviously, if Brennan wins the job, they're not having any QB runs or he's not extending plays, they might, like you said, shrink the playbook a little bit, which I also think that's why he's the third guy out going in, is because he shrinks the playbook more than the other two.
I'm just interested to see what's going to happen whenever LSU it's 10-3 in the third, and it's like I thought we were going to have a little bit more oomph than this.
Yeah.
If that's where it goes, it's like
but you don't. I mean,
we just haven't dove into that part because we're so enamored by, like I said, like who's going to play quarterback. It's like, well, what kind of offense is LSU going to have?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
you got dudes.
You got dudes. I just don't know.
What to get for dinner?
Well, that, but I don't know. Like, I don't want to anticipate. I don't want to like make an assumption on how the offense is going to be. I like to look at how have the offenses been run under the offensive coordinator and Brian Kelly in the past, and I think that they've always run a very crisp, sound, good offense, right? And like I think now that they have a lot more weapons, I think the offense has more of a chance of being explosive than not, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
No, I wasn't listening.
I know you weren't listening to me. Nobody's listening to anybody.
No, I
right
think
now.
that's a good point. You got Kayshawn healthy, Emery's eligible, Noah.
I mean, you have a deep receiving core. You have an offensive coordinator who is a really good schemer and puts his quarterbacks in a good position.
Yeah.
You have a head coach who has a history of allowing his quarterbacks to excel and doing what they're good at. Right? He's had quarterbacks that haven't been as talented that have been produced, and I think that we're going to be. I know the big question mark is the quarterback, but regardless of who the quarterback is, I think that we have a lot better chance of having an explosive offense than having an offense that can't score.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I'm curious about, like covering camp, is actually which 5 of the offensive linemen gets the nod across. Because, I mean, you're not necessarily deep there, but you have more options than maybe you would have thought at the end of last season with the 2 freshmen, Emory Jones, Will Campbell coming along, the transfers.
I mean, you have the offensive line's deep too.
Yeah, I mean,
the offensive line has some guys, and guys are going to step up, and like they're going to talk about like I think they're going to be 7 or 8 deep to where like they can put guys in that they feel comfortable with. At least I think. At least that's what I've been hearing and seeing.
I don't think it's a hot take to think Emory Jones might be your center or one of your guards.
He is. He's starting. He's going to start.
You think he'll be out there week 1?
Yep.
I think
he's going to start.
He got kind of
I think he's going to start.
bend over the barrel a little bit because of the school he went to doesn't let you leave early. You can't.
Right.
leave
No, I get that,
early.
but I still think he's going to start week 1.
He's a monster.
Yeah, I think him and Will will crack the starting line.
I mean, that's what they said. Will Campbell took a week to become the starter.
I think Miles
You know what I
Frazier.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be hard to keep Miles Frazier out of the 5 too. The
I agree.
FIU All-American transfer, and then other than that,
From where?
From FIU.
Oh yeah.
Other than that, you got 2 or 3 spots open, depending if Emory.
Tremont Shorts.
Yeah.
Be interesting.
Martinez. I mean, you got options.
The only position they don't have locked down is center, it feels like, right?
But you have options there even. They
Yeah,
just don't
but
have.
no-
They don't
yeah,
have like a
so they
natural
haven't got a
center.
true
They haven't
center.
taken
They don't have a
Yeah.
true natural center, which I think Emory Jones played center at Catholic, but that could be wrong. I think he did eventually. He might have moved to guard his senior year, but I think when he was a sophomore or junior, he was the center.
I mean,
Well,
look,
it's
offensive
day
line-
one.
Yeah.
And we're talking about.
Mm.
See, that's the thing about football too, which is so crazy. Is it's day one and we're having this conversation. The truth of the matter is that for all of those guys to make it to New Orleans healthy and ready to go is a very slim chance. So we'll have to see how camp plays out and how this thing goes. But I mean, there's a lot of possibilities.
Yeah,
which
it's
is
gonna be
great.
fun. It's gonna be just there's always something to talk about
Speculation season.
now that camp's starting, there's gonna be a lot of conversation. which I
Reports
can't
coming
wait for.
out.
And
Richard
we're-
Murphy ran for 300 yards in that spring game.
There you go.
Richard Murphy could probably run for another 300 yards right now.
Right now.
No doubt. All right, let's go through all of our segments. Not my fault. Brought to you by
Lance
Let-
Bill,
yeah.
attorney at law.
Dozy Place.
To Zeke Place.
Yes. Disappointed in you.
Mm-hmm. I'd like to give him. That's what you call it in the business, the old switcheroo. Give him
Switcheroo.
double love.
Sounds
Okay.
like sounds like the
So
double.
not my
whammy.
fault. You have the.
I don't think we have a not my fault.
Yeah, we do.
We
Did
do?
I put one in
There's
there?
one
Yeah,
there.
you did.
Mm.
We're looking at the link, waiting for you to tell a story.
My computer's off. This is a great one.
Is
I
it
heard
great?
that.
You remember?
Yes,
I love
yes.
that.
I forgot to put. I was doing the document in the car. So, my fault, not my fault. This is a debacle.
Debacle of that.
So there's a man and a wife. Obviously, they have a child. She keeps running little errands with her son in the car, and she just leaves him in their car on. Like, oh, I'm just gonna pop in real quick, grab some stuff, and I'll be right back. Like, I don't know why you don't want to take him with you, whatever. And the husband keeps asking her, like, can you stop doing this? It's dangerous, whatever. What happens if something happens? So instead of continuing this healthy conversation, he follows her to like the CBS where she pops in for like what is documented as 5 to 6 minutes, grabs the kid, puts him in his car, and waits to see how she reacts. And she obviously freaks out,
Duh.
is terrified, like, and he goes, well, I was trying to tell you, like, this is teaching her a lesson,
How
basically.
did she respond to that?
Not great, Bob.
course not.
But that's but I'm-
No way
I
this
mean,
went well.
I wouldn't be surprised if she punched him right in the nuts.
Yeah, but whose fault is it?
So I'm
Not-
gonna go ahead and hit this one first.
Yeah, go for it.
This is the scenario
It's
of
not
this
healthy.
is 1,000% his fault. There is no chance in hell he could have thought that this was. Let me teach her this lesson this way. That was gonna go well. It wasn't gonna go well at all. So this, in my opinion, this is 1,000% his fault.
I agree. I think it is his fault.
We know
for
where her
doing-
wrongs are.
for doing what he
but
did.
this is
right?
his fault.
She should not leave their kid in the car. But I mean, guy,
Buddy,
you gotta do something a little
Are
different.
you
than
kidding
that.
me?
Well,
You're taking a kid away from your mom, and you're to take him a lesson.
and then
Like,
you'll have to go. Like, we're gonna go home together after this.
Yeah, like, he got it right
Like-
back home.
there's a different strategy. You gotta
So
do.
tell me they gotta have a guest bedroom or a nice
Oh, he's on the
plush
couch
couch,
for a minute.
nice plush couch.
He's on the
Or,
couch for a minute. And how old? Does it say how old the kid was?
I think 5 or 6.
Yeah, but that's old enough to bring in.
I
Like,
don't- that's
you
what
gotta-
I thought too.
You gotta bring him in. I mean, you always bring the kid in, no matter how old they are. The kid's 12, keep him in the car. But
What?
if he's 12, he can sit in the car and wait. Like 12,
Yeah, or
13,
bring him in.
Or bring him
down.
in, but like if the kid
The
doesn't.
kid must be a terror.
at 12 years.
Sit down, I'll be right
at
back.
12 years old. At 12 years old, the kid
Smoke a
has.
cigarette. Yeah.
Get out of
At
here.
12 years old, the kid's old enough to say, okay, I don't want to go in. I'm just gonna sit in the. I don't need
Yeah.
anything. I'm gonna sit in the car, right? But like when you're
Look
5,
at
6,
TikTok.
like you go, you bring the kid in. Like that's just not.
And another caveat to this is not my fault. My fault didn't work. Do you think that she would
No.
ever?
No.
Probably not.
No, no.
Oh, that was probably.
I mean,
that
it
was
may.
better than
I
thought.
don't know. I don't think it. I don't
You don't
think-
know. See, that's.
I think
this is where-
I think the rate of not bringing the kid in maybe went down a little bit, but there is no way she just said, he's so right. I'm never doing it again. I just don't believe it.
I just think that sheer panic she felt of holy shit, somebody fucking stole my kid, and
Maybe-
I'm
maybe
gonna
it
have
did
to
work.
tell him.
Maybe
What did you do?
Maybe it did work.
You did
but
the
like,
thing that we talked
come
about
on.
tonight.
if it worked, that relationship took a dip. That's going to take a while.
No doubt.
That's going to take a while to come back.
Are they divorced?
I'm about to do some more reading.
Okay.
She called him cruel and psychotic.
Yeah,
I
sounds
did
about
kinda
right.
agree with that.
Yeah, that's
let's
not
go to our curtain calls. Curtain call is brought to you by Lance Beal, attorney at law in Lafayette, Louisiana. What's yours?
I spoiled mine already. It was
What is it?
the
Sorry,
Javi
say it.
Baez.
It's fine. Say it.
What is it? His former roommate?
No, it's his brother-in-law.
Brother-in-law. That's what it was. That was my curtain call. I thought that was awesome. Just a great moment.
They're
I can't
both from Puerto
show
Rico
it.
too, which is awesome.
Say again?
They're both from Puerto Rico.
Yeah, you could see like that's pure baseball right there. Like all of that was like the enjoyment. Like we're having fun again. It felt like they're in the backyard.
Right.
I would love to show it.
Can't do
Obviously,
it.
another.
Yeah, that one video that we had, the monitor.
Really, that's the most.
That was the only video that hasn't got to 1,000 views because the damn.
We got the MLB.
flagged.
Yeah,
No,
MLB
MLB.
is the one who threw the copyright strike. We've never been.
MLB for the track and field.
Oh, it was that.
the
Yes,
monitored
yes.
tennis
It was
thing.
the Olympics. Excuse me.
The Olympics got us.
But that was the first time. But I don't want to dabble in these waters anymore.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean,
But-
we lost some viewers on that one.
I know that's hand up. That's
okay.
Mondo's fault, to
That's
be
your mom's
honest.
fault. What you got?
My curtain call will be so with the NFL appealing this Deshaun Watson situation, I would imagine that there is going to be a new either judge/arbitrator once they slap this extra game amount on Deshaun Watson. And now the NFLPA is probably going
Yeah,
to.
but can they appeal? I don't
They're
know.
going to sue.
Oh, yeah.
They're probably going to sue, and it's going to be NFLPA versus NFL. My curtain call goes to whatever judge, arbitrator, whoever has to
the
deal with this
curtains?
case, because there's nothing criminal in it, and now you're going to have to make a very public decision on
You're
moral.
gonna set the standard there.
So this for me becomes a future curtain call to whoever that person is, because their name's going to be thrown in it, and they're
Yeah.
going to be publicized about it, and that's a tough situation to be in. So
is
hats
tough.
off for you that you're going to have to do a tough job that I'm sure no one really
want any part
truly
of that.
wants to have to do, but there you are.
So who decided to? Who was the person that makes the ruling? They did it out of.
It was an arbitrator.
She was a judge. She was a retired judge.
She was a retired judge.
Have they
doing
done
it.
that before? It feels
That's
like
what-
Roger.
That's kind of what they do all the time,
That's
and
what
they
they
just
do.
kind of leave that decision.
So
But
she makes
I
a
don't-
recommendation on the suspension of the amount of games based off her findings.
The way to
Goodell
think-
can either
because
accept
there's
that,
nothing legal
right?
about
He
it.
can accept that suggestion, or he can add games to it, and make his own
But
decision.
but
They-
usually what
they
happens is
simplest.
it's a bad look if they say, hey, this is our league. We don't want to make a decision on this. We'll give it to you.
Right.
You make the decision. Hell nah. We don't want that. We want something different. It's usually a bad look,
Yeah.
but that's
I
exactly
think
what's
they're getting
happening
10
right
games.
now.
I think he's getting 10 games. I'm telling you, if he gets 10 games, they're gonna go get Jimmy G. Watch.
It's good for our Seahawks bet.
But you
They're
got
just out
what's
there
your curtain
doing
call?
nothing.
They don't
Mine
care.
is
It's unbelievable. Nobody's talking about it.
They don't care.
It's the first NFL team I've ever seen tank.
What?
The Seahawks. They don't have a quarterback.
I think they like.
They.
I think they do like him.
Yeah, they like him. They like him.
Yeah.
I don't
They
know
like
if
him to put him in a
I
nice
bet they
spot
like-
to get
I bet they
Bryce
liked
Young
Russell
or-
Wilson
or
more. I
I
Stroud.
didn't realize he was a second rounder. I didn't realize he was a second rounder.
Who, Drew Lock?
Oh, yeah.
He's a big arm guy.
he was good in Missouri.
He's a big arm guy. I mean,
yeah,
Maybe he'll shock you.
big
Who knows?
blinders too.
Yeah, who knows? Let's see what you got.
But
What's your curtain call?
mine is actually might shock you is Jacob deGrom.
Okay.
As much as I am a Braves fan, through 300 days without Jacob deGrom pitching in baseball is not good for the game. So it was nice to see him get back out there. But
Didn't he get Yabo twice in the minor leagues, back to back by the same like?
I hope
Okay,
he
let
did.
me.
Days.
Okay,
I
let me say
know.
this.
It doesn't go. This doesn't. It's not the same thing.
Minor league rehab starts for these starters that doesn't count because these guys that they're playing against are
It's their World
ambushing,
Series.
and they are swinging first pitch and they're not allowing a guy to set them up and they're not. This guy's just trying to get his work in, trying to get his pitches. Like that's all that matters. Stay healthy, get through it, go to the next game. And these hitters are
Feasting.
trying to get hit off of DeGrom, and they're not gonna wait. They're all swinging first pitch, getting ready to go, and it's just, I mean, so you don't put too much stock into what the numbers they give up.
I bet they did that night when they went out.
DeGrom's probably not throwing any third inning first pitch slider.
No.
It's probably heater again. Here you
I
go.
bet he did after he got taken deep, and he was like, you know what?
Maybe.
The next guy probably was like, oh, I'm fucked.
Maybe.
I'm about to show you what it looks like.
Possibly.
Like, all right.
Okay, my curtain call is, I guess it goes two ways, right? So one is I want to give a shout out to the Padres for for going go and get it.
Yeah,
they're going to do it, right? They're going for it. They went for it. They've got an all-star lineup. They have an unbelievable team. But the bigger curtain call is to all of these teams that are in contention and that are trying to make a run, that went out and got guys to make a run. Like, shout out to you guys for all trying to be competitive. And shout out to all the bad teams who don't want to be competitive and have a $40 million payroll and makes everything else look bad. So shout out to the good teams that actually give a shit about trying to win and put themselves in a position. And I think that's all good for baseball, and I can't wait for the postseason.
Fuck Tom Ricketts.
All right, great show. Thank you all for listening and tuning in. Sorry that our Paul Skenes interview did not go through. We will have him on the show Monday, and we'll make it up to you, I promise. Again, the giveaways. Mik'd Up, our LSU 15 and Saints 15. Log in, use both promo codes on the Caesars app. If you want to apply for these giveaways, we're giving away 4 tickets to the LSU game and 4 tickets to Saints preseason game. Would love for y'all to interact, and I cannot wait to give it away to y'all. Again, I am running on fumes. I am exhausted. I'm happy that I've been back. I missed you guys. I missed having the show on Monday. I'm glad that we're back on track. We have a show again on Friday from Uncle Earl's, and we're going to be live Mondays and Wednesdays from 6 to 8 p.m. Fridays 4:30 to 6 from Uncle Earl's.
It's all out your system?
What?
No more. We don't have any more vacation.
I mean, it's not vacation. I don't have anything scheduled like that. Like all my other times I scheduled were on Tuesdays or Thursdays where we don't have a show. So
we're back.
We're back. Like I'm here. I'm present. I'm ready to go. I love y'all.
Do you know who's playing in the Hall of Fame game? Which 2 teams?
Do
you want to know?
Yeah.
Jaguars and Raiders.
Raiders. Okay.
In 3 days.
Nice.
I
can't wait.
What do you think the spread will be? I don't know it.
I don't know. That's hard to get preseason spreads.
3.5?
Probably
2.5?
I don't know.
You got to pick one. Straight up.
What if it's say 3.5?
No, we say no spread. Who do you pick to win? You have to pick one. You get early. You'll probably get more Trevor Lawrence than Derek Carr. David? Derek.
No, you're not.
Carr.
They're both going to play not a lot.
I think Trevor's going to play a lot. New coach, Doug Peterson. Have to see what he's... Okay.
I mean, he's your starting quarterback. Like, they're going to treat him like a starting quarterback.
I think Trevor's going to have a good year this year.
I do too.
I
say good. A lot better than last year.
Yeah, he's not going to play the whole. He's not going to play that much.
No,
he's
not
going to
get
a little taste, and that's it, and whatever. But again, thank y'all for tuning in. We'll see you again on Friday, live from Uncle Earl's, 4:30 to 6. If you want to come have some drinks, come on. We'll be there. We'll be talking football. We'll be talking sports. We'll be talking whatever's going on in the real life sports world. But I'm back. I'm back in the right time zone. I'm back in Louisiana. I'm excited. Thank y'all for tuning in. You're watching Mik'd Up, brought to you by Sterling Automotive.